And we are live. What's good? It's your man DL Saint. Welcome. DL Saint, I really want to know podcast. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling? You know, man, I hope all is well. Y'all know what I'm about to do, man. I need to check the sound real quick, and hopefully I'm fast enough to. Nope, I'm not fast enough to get there. I'm gonna have to hit a button again. I hope all is well out there with y'all, man. All is well here. All is well here. Well, I can't even check my shit. We're just going to have to hope that everything is where it's supposed to be. I hit the wrong button. YouTube TV. Hey, y'all. This is what happens when you get old. You become the old person who doesn't know how to work his own technology. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know what I just did to my YouTube. I just can't even check my own stuff right now. Oh, well, I just hope everything is good. Hope the sound is right and everything else. Welcome to our Really Want to Know podcast. I want to do a quick one today. I was supposed to do this yesterday around 6 o'clock, but my godson is home on leave, and he came down to see me for early dinner, him and some of his buddies. So I had to go hang out with my favorite leg. Can't seem to get him to airborne school, man. Something's wrong with him. But we're going to get him there. We're going to get him there. So I was hanging out with him. So I pushed the show. Sorry about that. I know people were eagerly waiting for the show, and I just couldn't. I had to push it to the day. So I apologize for that, y'all. You know what I mean? It happens. And I didn't want to come back and do it. It was scheduled for 6. I didn't want to do it like a 7 or 8. Myron and Fresh and Fit had a really good episode on yesterday about relationships. About men holding their frame and, you know, stuff like that, which was a really good episode. I didn't want to miss that. So yeah, I just decided to push it to today, and here we are, man. Let's see, Brother Doug's in the house, man. What is good, fam? I see you, bro. How you feeling? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And that's for you, bro. So today we're going to talk about the Mano Swamp, right? The Mano Swamp, you know, formerly known as the Manosphere. And it's Rich Cooper who coined the phrase I'm using here, the Mano Swamp, here recently. He was on the Michael Certain podcast, and he called it the Mano Swamp. And that's one of the guys, you know, that's one of the founders, that's one of the heavy hitters in the space. And when Rich Cooper is saying stuff like, hey, you know what I mean, it's kind of messed up now. It's crazy. And actually, I watched Rich Cooper's Entrepreneurs in Car, or it was Unplugged Alpha. I watched one of his streams, I think it was Monday, when he was talking about it and, you know, the state of the manosphere right now and what's going on. And I thought it was pretty good, and it got me to thinking. It was like, you know what? He's right. He's right. I'm new to the space, but I'm seeing everything that he's talking about, man. He's been in the space for a minute. He's been around. He knows all the OGs. He's an OG himself. And I'm here to tell y'all, man, for those, you know, young men out there and old men too, whoever's, you know, trying to figure it out, there's a lot of people gunning for you. So you got guys out there who are having a hard time dealing with women and trying to learn the, you know what I mean, the ground rules and trying to see what it's like these days out here in these streets. Things have definitely changed a lot. So these guys are trying to figure that out. And at the same time, they're getting finessed by women. And now you have all these people coming into the manosphere, the Mano Swamp. And these people are trying to finesse you as well. So you're getting hit on both flanks. You don't even know what's going on. So I want to do this show, kind of talk on that a little bit, man. Just speak on it a little bit. We got Brother Hayok in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, you know, and it's gonna be a quick one today, but I'll probably drop the link here in a little bit for anybody who might want to jump up and join the conversation. But yo, if you're out there, if you're a man, especially if you're a dude who's considered in the bottom 80, like you're not that good, you know, with women, you're not a womanizer. You've been wrecked. You've been through the divorce machine. You've had to deal with family court and all that kind of stuff. Or you just, you know what I mean? You just don't seem to be having any luck with women. You found out that you've been friend zoned, or you're the foodie guy, or you're the handyman, or you're whatever. You're just not getting anything in return. You're just giving all this attention to women and nothing's coming back and you being used. I wish I had some better news for you, but I got to tell you this. You find yourself, you know, you fall down that RP rabbit hole. You find yourself in the manosphere, and guess what? There's people there waiting to use you as well. There are tons of people. It is big business now, yo. Big business. Even though, this part of the YouTube, like, is real small. Like, the manosphere is a real small section of the overall picture of YouTube and the dating world and all that. There's a lot of money in it. A lot of money in it. Right? And there's so many people who are doing well. And then, people see that. Right? They see, like, oh, look. The ad revenue on YouTube is like looking up for these people. So you got YouTubers making tons of money, and they're gonna get into the space. Other people get into the space just because they can see it as a way to get quick money sometimes. And a lot of these people are simply selling you what you want. They're telling you what you want to hear. They're not really adding real value. They're not trying to help you. You know what I mean? Say what you want to say about Fresh and Fit. But Fresh and Fit became big. They're really trying to help people. They really are. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people like, no, they ain't. They just getting paid. Nah, man. If you watch Fresh and Fit, they've been doing the same thing since they started. And they're, you know what I mean? They started their platform doing what they're doing. The stuff caught on and it just went crazy. Like, you look at them now. Shout out to Myron and Fresh and the whole Fresh and Fit fam. Like, you look at what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think one of their biggest products is the DMs on demand. Fresh and Fit's been calling, especially Fresh, they've been calling Instagram the biggest dating app on the planet. People were like, that ain't dating and da-da-da, that's not dating. You guys are stupid, da-da-da-da-da. Well, now you got mainstream media saying the exact same thing. People are meeting online. They're not meeting at work. People don't even go to work anymore, right? Most people work from home. People aren't meeting at work. They're not meeting at church. People don't go to church like that anymore, do they? No, they're not, you know what I mean? Like, they are meeting people online. It started with dating apps and now it's moved over to Instagram. Instagram is, without a doubt, the number one dating app on planet Earth, hands down. Nothing's ever going to come close to it. Nothing. Right? So Myron and Fresh have a product that they sell periodically, and it's called DMs on Demand. That's by far the most popular product they have over there. And they only roll it out when people basically screaming, demanded, like, please do another DMs on Demand. And it's real, and all it is them showing people how to set up their Instagram, how to create an attractive Instagram profile. That's pretty much all it is. And they get into details. Yes, y'all, it is a science. And I'm not gonna lie, man, if I was a 20-something-year-old dude, I probably would pay for that. I would probably pay for that, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Instagram is huge. Not just Instagram, but the type of phone you have. Not just having, like, I'm an Android guy. I got an iPhone now. I haven't even turned it on yet. I don't really want to use it, but you have to in this world. In today's world, like, the kind of tech that you have matters. It is crazy. Like, it is crazy what's going on. So when I look at Fresh and Fit, you know what I mean? And even Rich Cooper said this. Fresh and Fit changed the game when it comes to this sort of YouTube space and what's going on. Before Fresh and Fit, people didn't have studios built, you know what I mean? The only person I knew that built the studio was Andrew Schultz. Right? That's the only person I knew that kind of built the studio, and he was kind of going for that late night show feel, right? He did that. Fresh and Myron came in there and did what they did with the Fresh and Fit platform, and they started bringing women in, just women. So they would interact with women live in 1080p, and you can hear what these women are saying. Today's woman, you can just hear it. Now it's catching on everywhere, all over, not just here in America, but over in the UK. That's what everyone's going to. They're bringing women in. They're talking to women live, asking them questions, picking their brains. You know what I mean? So you can see what's going on out there. Fresh and Fit started that, y'all. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And it was Fresh. Myron and Fresh started that. You know what I mean? The late night show on Fresh and Fit still is like their number one show over there. People tune into that. And you see these young girls coming in there and they're chasing clout. Myron and Fresh talk about this. Now, the reason I keep using their names is because I use them as an example of a good platform in this space. Like, you can go to Fresh and Fit and get what you need. You know what I mean? You don't have to get the merch and, and be rah, 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 yeah. You don't have to do all that. You can lurk in the shadows, pay attention to what they're doing, and listen. and better yourself. That's what the platform is for. Myron and Fresh tell people all the time, you know, they tell guys, be the best version of yourself. Be the best man you can be. Get into the gym, work out, man. Work on your money, right? You know, money, game, and frame. Learn a little bit of game. Understand female nature. Understand male nature. This is the kind of stuff that they talk about, right? Except that the times have changed. They were talking about this last night. Last night was a pretty good show. I'm talking about the early show. That was a really good show. The way what Myron was talking about, what Fresh was talking about was a good show, bro. Like, you don't have to be the guy that's being walked all over by his woman. You know what I mean? Understand that there are a lot of women. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying there's a good number of women out there who are doing their thing. Right? It is what it is. If you don't like it, so what? They're doing their thing. Bro, trust me, as an old man who still ventures out into those trenches every now and then, women are doing their thing, bro. You know, and these guys are just getting wrecked because they don't know what's going on. So you can go to a Fresh and Fit platform and you can learn some stuff. You can learn some stuff from Rich Cooper, Unplugged Alpha. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurs in Cars. You can learn some stuff by reading the material out there. Tons of books out there from Aaron Clary, Rollo Tomasi, Rich Cooper. They all have books. Aaron Clary has Bachelor Pad Economics. I think that every guy should read that book. Bachelor Pad Economics by Aaron Clary. Go check that book out, fellas. Go check that book out. If you want to know how much it costs over a lifetime to date, to go out there and chase women, and he wrote this book a long time ago, so the numbers have even changed and gotten higher. If you want to know what a guy spends in North America over a lifetime chasing women, that book will show you. You got to go. Bachelor Pad Economics. I have that book. I don't have it up here. It's downstairs in my bookshelf. Bachelor Pad Economics. Aaron Clary, go check that out. The Rational Male. You know, I'm still working my way through that book. That's a serious text. That's Rollo Tomasi's first one. And Rich Cooper was saying, yeah, The Rational Male, the first two books, you know what I mean, that's where you can really learn a lot. You know what I mean? I highly recommend Unplugged Alpha, which is Rich Cooper's book. It's a good read. It's a quick read, and it makes sense. I recommend that. Go check that out. You know what I mean? There's tons of stuff out there. So Myron Gaines is working on a book right now. As Myron from Fresh and Fit, Women Deserve Less. When that book comes out, I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to keep it on my cocktail table when I invite people over. What is this? Women Deserve Less. I hope he ain't trolling. I really hope he's working on that book. And, you know, that started off as a running joke. Myron he keeps notes on the show, and the tablet that he uses to keep notes, it looks like a book, but it's not. And on the cover, it says Women Deserve Less. It's hilarious, but there's a reason behind that, what he says, though. So, but anyway, like, there are good sources, you know what I mean, to learn for those guys who, you know, trying to get better. There are places to get it in the manosphere. You know, those are some of the guys I just mentioned. Coach Red Pill, Donovan Sharp. You know what I mean? There's a spectrum. There's a spectrum. And it's like, you know, from easy to hard, it's out there, and everything in between. You look at some of the stuff that Andrew Tate is saying and all that, and, you know, like the Tate brothers, you know, Justin Wilder, the list goes on and on and on. But there's also a lot of people out there just trying to make money off these guys who are out here trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Now, I get it. The game is to be sold, not told. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've tried to give away a whole bunch of free game, and a lot of times that stuff gets thrown back in my face, only to have the people double back and be like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. And then they want more information. And they're willing to pay. So you have that aspect of it. You know what I mean? I try to help as many folks as I can, do some stuff. I'm out here doing a lot of things. It's to the point now, it's like, whoa, I might want to slow down because I'm overtasking myself trying to help. So there's people out there who want to help, but I've seen people go out here trying to help, and they lose their time, and, you know, the time is money, y'all. So I understand that. I'm not saying it's wrong for people to go out here and charge and this sort of thing to try to help people. It is what it is. And I've said it on this platform, and a million times, and I'll continue to say it. Starting next year, Q1, I'm going to be charging for certain things. You know what I mean? Because when someone comes to me for help, I want to make sure that they're serious, and the best way to to weed out the bullshitters is to have a price, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you want all that, you're going to have to cough up some bread. That's when I know someone is serious. That's when I know they're going to take my words and they're going to put them to use and it's going to get in there. But when it's free, it doesn't necessarily have any value to that person you're giving it to. They take it or leave it. They might throw it back in your face, whatever. So I understand that. But for men out there who are trying to figure it out, y'all need to understand there are people out there just simply trying to get into your pockets, and they're not going to sell you shit. They're going to sell you exactly what you want to hear, and that is not going to help you. That is not going to help you. If you're a basement dweller and you come holler at me, I'm going to call you a basement dweller. If you're a bottom 80, I'm going to call you the bottom 80, right? Most people are in the bottom 80%. Well, how many people are in the bottom 80%, DL? 80%. That's how many, right? It's hard to get into that top 20, but you can get there. It takes some work, you know what I mean? But you can get there. Let me catch up with the chat real quick and I'll continue. Yeah, Brother Hayoka, the technical support directing them is Rolo. Yeah, Rolo's thing is real thing. Is the real deal. Dino Dinosaurs in the house. What's good, fam? Hope you and your daughter are feeling better. We are. My daughter's doing excellent now. She's fully recovered. And yeah, thank you so much for that, bro. She had a rough week. She did, but she's back. She's caught up with her work and everything, and she's doing her stuff. She got herself into a little bit of trouble. It's nothing to do with anything. She just forgot her responsibilities at school, and I had to tighten her up a little bit, but she's back on track. Brother Hayoka, hopefully she's feeling better too. Dino, I was thinking the same thing. Brother Terusa's in the house. What's good, fam? Facts. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, but unless they understand the background of Red Pill, though they flounder around. Yeah, you got to understand that this whole Red Pill thing is, yo, man, it's, it takes some thought, bro. It takes some thought. Brother Dino. Brother DL, you have spoke to this and should link with a female guest. Advise how a young man should converse today with today's young woman. I'm thinking about something like that. I'm actually trying to get. I know some girls who are strippers, like exotic dancer strippers, what you want to call them, and I've lined up a few of them. I mean, I guess it's nature of the beast. They're kind of flaky and hard to get them. They'll commit, but it's really hard to get them to show up. But people are like, well, why you want to talk to strippers? Well, strippers truly understand male nature. It's no bullshit with them, right? It is their business to know male nature. They got to know how to cater to men, all men. And I've, the girls that I want to bring in, they know how to read men the way men should be able to read women. And they come in and they make their runs. The good ones do. The bad ones, the young ones, they're just walking around, whatever. They just run numbers. It's kind of funny, like when you dealing with like strippers, like if you go into a strip club, it's like these women are red pill. Like these women, it's like they studied in the manosphere or something. The way that they run, you have those who run like very precise game. They know how to size up whoever they're looking at because they're going after the bread and they know what they're doing. They know what they need to say. Then you got the ones who are just cute and they just simply run numbers. They just run numbers. Like they rely solely on their looks and they just go, from guy to guy to guy. You got the old ones who really is just 100% numbers. They just go, like it's clubs like Miami. They just walk around. $1 for my dance. Can you give me $1 for my dance? Can you give me $1? That's all they do. Even if you're like, I just got in here. I didn't even see you dance. Give me $1. Give me $1. Give me $1. That's their game. And then eventually someone will take them back for a lap dance or something like that. And I mean, that's their game. So to me, talking to these women, like getting into their heads, I'll sit down with them. Like I'll just sit at the bar and they'll come over to talk to me. And I'm like, listen, like I'm not going to get a dance. I'm not going to tip you for your dance, but I do want to talk to you. And they'll sit down and talk to me for, 45 minutes or so. I've had them talk to me for hours. And I would, pay them I listened to how many songs had passed while they were talking to me, and I give them like $10 per song. I'm getting this information. Eventually, they even stop taking money because they realize what I'm doing, and they just break it down. So I'm trying to get some of those women to come in and talk about what's going on today and how to move. You know what I mean? Because these strippers are killing it. You know what I mean? And another reason I want to talk to them is the money is starting to change, and they're like the canaries in the coal mine when it comes to the economy. You know what I mean? Dancers will feel the recession before the rest of us. You feel me? Because right now, the past couple years, money was great. Before, like leading up to the pandemic, before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, when they opened everything up again, dancers was killing it. Man, I know some girls that were getting $10,000 just working 4 nights a week. 10 grand a week cash. Killing it. Well, that's starting to change. So for those people out there who like, oh, there's no recession. There's not coming. The economy is doing strong. Not in the strip clubs. Them girls feel it. And they'll tell you like, yeah, they see the corporate money starting to dry up. They're talking to dudes who are like being laid off, or, you know what I mean? Like companies like these guys, these CEO types are stressed out and drinking, and they confide in these dancers. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to lay off all these people and da-da-da-da-da. So that's where I be getting a lot of my information, right? I'll bring that intel in, and I'll put that together with what I'm reading in the Wall Street Journal, what I'm seeing on Fox and CNBC, and it's like, yeah. I mean, look at the stock market today. Last time I checked, the Dow was down almost 500 points. You know what I mean? Bitcoin and Ethereum were both down. The S&P and the NASDAQ both down today. And like, this is the first day this week. So it was like the Dow, like Wall Street was up for 3 days in a row. And now, man, it's a big sell-off. I'm telling you, man, like, this is what I'm doing. Like, we all like, what are you out there doing? You're at a strip club looking at booty? Nah, bro. I'm getting intel. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting intel to help me figure out what's going on, so I can see, maybe make some different moves. So, but yeah, man. So I'm working on that, brother. Dino. I want to bring some young ladies in here from that world, so y'all can see, how they think and what's going on and what they're seeing, and because most of the guys who go to strip clubs, bro, they're not in there just so they can get lap dance and smack these girls on their booties or see, see titties and everything. They're in there looking for companionship, man. They're looking for someone to talk to them. These guys who go in there are normally guys who are unseen in their world. And they just want to talk to a beautiful woman, and they'll pay for that. So that's the first thing I learned. Like, yo, these dudes in here, they come in there, they talk to the same dancer. They like to sit in the same area, like normally in the same seat, and they come in there with their money, and they come in and they talk about their week, and the girls are kind of like, because they know the game. They're telling the dude what he wants to hear. They're giving him what he normally pays for, but at the same time, as they do it in a way that he feels that she's like part of his life. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Like, he's paying for companionship. To each his own, bro. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. And yes, there are girls out there, there are dancers out there who are, smashing for money. That is a thing, 100%. That is a thing. And there are those guys who go looking for that as well. They know who they are. They know who them women are, right? They know where they are, what clubs they're working in, you know what I mean? And then you got the girls there that are trying to, funnel people to their OnlyFans and stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is. It's that world. It's the oldest profession in the world. That ain't never going to change. You know what I mean? It ain't never going to change. So yeah, bro, I'm going to do that, man. And then I'll bring in normal women as well. I plan on doing that. They'll be sitting right here next to me. I won't do like a big panel. It'll be like a one-on-one, or maybe it will be a StreamYard thing. But I plan on doing that, bro. So thank you. Brother Primal's in the house. What's good? Good to see you, player. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, the Book of Numbers, Aaron Clearing. Yes, the Book of Numbers is also a great one. I have that as well. Bachelor Pad Economics and the Book of Numbers. I read them both. Really good books. Really good books. Brother JT's in the house. What's good, fam? What up, though? I see you. Shoot, who's Detroit playing this week? Who y'all got this week, man? Y'all playing on Saturday or Sunday? Brother Charuz DL, you know some baddies too. Bring them on the panel. Y'all know some baddies, bro, but you know what I mean, I got to keep part of my life secret. I can't show it all, bro. It can't show it all. Yes, I do know a couple baddies. I absolutely do. I'm an old guy, man. Like, I know the game. I know the game. And I keep telling y'all, man, this particular game today, if your mission is to have sex, it's never been easier to get sex. Women are so free with it these days. It's ridiculous, man. There's absolutely no shame out there. They're not gonna tell you their body count, but bro, I'm telling you, they're out there getting it. They're out there getting it. Like the one night stand, insane right now, insane. So if that's what you're looking for, that's one of the things. The first thing when dudes come to me and they bring me on to kind of advise them, coach them, mentor them, whatever term you want to use. That's one of the first things I ask them, like, what are you trying to do, bro? What is your mission? If your mission is to find a long-term relationship, all right, cool. There's a way to do that. If your mission is to just smash, you're trying to get out there and just smash, all right, cool. There's a way to do that. But I need to know. And what I have noticed is most guys aren't honest with themselves. They'll come on and say, I just want to smash, but they really want a long-term relationship, and that's how you get wrecked. You going out here talking about, I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a high-value guy. I'm going to exercise options, and you running out here, you know, going after these women who just want to have fun. If you lie to yourself saying, oh, I just want to have fun, I just want to smash, and you run up on one of these women, they're going to wreck you because you're going to fall in love with this woman. And she is going to wreck you. And that is your fault for lying to yourself. If you want a long-term relationship, you need to be honest with yourself and like, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. Don't come holler at somebody like me saying you want to smash when you really want a long-term relationship, because it's two different routes you got to take. It's two different ways of moving. Right? So I'm seeing that. It's like, bro, you ain't about this life, man. How you going to fall in love with her, bro? Like, everybody done smash. How you going to, now you in love with her. Now you mad because she over here smashing somebody else. Come on now. That's on you. That's on you. Brother Hayoka, they have at least two major advantages, experiencing men and passing information to one another while they all evaluate the crowd. Yeah, talking about strippers, they do. They work in cliques. That's another thing I noticed about these girls, especially the high-earning strippers. They work in packs. They know what they're doing. They have a girl that specializes in certain things, one of each in the pack. You know what I mean? So when they land on something, they can provide that guy with whatever experience he wants. If the initial girl comes in and she's talking and she realizes, all right, this dude ain't my speed, like, or more to the point, she can't provide him with the experience he's looking for, but she knows he has money. She'll bring in her girl, and the other one to come in like, well, this is what he really wants, and then boom, because they're like just getting to the bread. They just want to get to the bread. Get you in the section of how you throwing money. That's all they want to do. Get to the bread. And yes, they're girls that have a night, a special night, a birthday, or some sort of celebration, and make $10,000 that night. I've seen it, $20,000 in the night and up, depending on the city, depending on the event. You know what I mean? I've seen it, bro. Like when you can't see the floor because there's nothing but dollars on the floor, and it's big ones, fives, tens, 20s, 50s, 100s, all on the floor. You ain't even touching the floor. You just, whatever you do, you want money. I've seen that. I've seen guys, you know, bring out $8,000 cash, just signing the little thing, like, run the card, $8,000. They'll bring it out on a silver platter, $8,000 in singles, and the girls are gonna get to it. I'm telling you, man. But them days are slowing down, man. This recession is here. It's slowing down. You know what I mean? And yeah, brother JT's in here, man, from What We Know Podcast, man. Definitely make sure y'all go over there, like and subscribe over there, What We Know Podcast, man. Brother JT, brother Rob doing big things. Go over there and show some love. Primal studies, dancers are a decent measure of discretionary income. Yeah. Yes, they are. You know what I mean? Yes, they are. Brother Lincoln's in the house. What's up? Special Fit Dallas in this bitch, you know, in this piece, man. Cornerstone, Big Banks in the chat. That's good. What's good? You know what I mean? So yeah, I go in there to get my intel. See, Brother Lincoln, he lying, y'all. He in the strip club. Y'all, bro, yeah, I'll be in there, bro. Like I said, man, it's all about the intel. I've never been a big fan of strip clubs. I ain't gonna lie. Especially when I was young, when I was like Brother Lincoln's age, man, nah, I hated that shit. My dude's big time fan. I'd be in there bored as hell, bro. Like I ain't doing nothing. And when you really don't want to be in that life and you're not part of that life, the girls know it. I've been in, hanging out with my dude, man. Be in Miami, be in LA, be in Vegas, be wherever we are at the strip club, because that was his thing at the time. We in the strip club, he's doing his thing, having a good time. I'm just chilling. The women knew it. And they would come up to me, not because they thought they was going to get money out of me. They came up to me because they was interested. So it was like a whole big thing. So people like, oh, you can't date strippers? Yeah, you can. And by date, I mean get them out of there and have some fun and smash. Yeah, you can. But once and Fresh says this all the time. This is the reason that when Fresh goes in the clubs where he's networking, he doesn't spend a dime on the dancers. He doesn't, because he's about business to him. He's like, nah, bro. And if you spend a dime on a stripper, man, now you are in her business funnel. She sees you as a client. You give her $1, she sees you as a client. So even the way I do it, they sit there, I talk to them, they give me intel. I give them $10 here, $20 there, just from the information they tell. They see me as a client. They're like, well, he gave me $10, he gave me $20, I can get $200. They see me as a client. And it is what it is. So yeah, Brother Lincoln, like if I don't go to strip clubs during the holiday season because they really, really want money. I stay out, but once Q1 rolls around, once the holidays are all past, I'll go back in. You know what I mean? And I really want to see what's going on. Like he in the strip clubs. Yeah, well, shit, bro. Club 11 down in Miami. When y'all come to Miami, man, definitely got to go to Club 11. Everybody in the strip club down there. Booby Trap on the river. You know what I mean? Pink Pony, all that, bro. You know what I mean? Tootsie's like a Walmart. A strip club Walmart, bro. It's a big place, bro. If you ain't ever been to Miami, if you ever go to Miami, man, check out Tootsie's one time. King of Diamonds. You know what I mean? I don't like going to King of Diamonds because people get shot outside, but that is like the premier hood spot. Tootsie's is like the corporate spot, man. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoko, by Google while you can. Yeah, everything's down, man. Like stocks are on sale right now, man. This is just the beginning. We're nowhere near the bottom when it comes to stock market, bro. Like I said, I checked a couple hours ago, man. The Dow was like almost 500 points down. Yesterday it was like 500 points up. So like all those games from yesterday have already been wiped out. And we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, man. It's another day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And then we go into the holiday break, I think. Dinosaur, the stripper's point of view is eye-opening, but don't forget regular women. Young men need that fatherly advice. True. The problem is this, man, when it comes to regular women, bro, it's changed greatly. I mean, straight up, real talk, man, it's changed. I mean, I hardly recognize the dating landscape anymore, man. Like the way women are moving, bro. Like it's real close. Like the game that women run. Like, dude, it's scary. If you don't know what you're doing, man, it is scary because you will think you have a good one. Oh, I got a good one. Only to find out like she's running a rotation. Like I see a lot of that, man. Like the way the women are running the rotations is crazy. I mean, I'm not mad. It is what it is. But I see dudes getting their feelings hurt left and right all day, every day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll talk to some regular women, but you'll start to see that there's some similarities between the strippers, the regular women, the call girls. There's similarities there, bro. And I'm not talking about in what they do, but I'm just in the way that they think, in the way that they move. There's similarities there. People are asking me that, well, where do you find the good girls, man? Like, bro, I don't know. I'm just keeping it 100. I really don't know. I can tell you where you don't find them. You're not going to find them on a college campus. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? That's where they're really running rampant as far as doing their dirt. You're not going to find them on a college campus. I don't know. That's going to have to be a show, man. We have to figure out where we find these women. Uncle Stu's in the house. What's good, fam? Salute to you, man. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate that, man. Panthers Saturday. That's Detroit Lions, man. Panthers, man. Y'all should be able to rock them boys out, man. I hope y'all win. Primal Studies. I dated one back in the early 2000s. Not uncommon for her to bring home 1 to 2K on an average night. Yeah, on an average night. Yeah, like they were. Yeah, strippers be getting bread, bro. Brother Helka, the girl at the Bunny Ranch said to her girl, "He's not gonna mess with me, but you can get him for $17K." Funny as hell, but true. Hey, man, it's business, bro. It's business. Once you spend, you become a source of revenue. Too true. That's how they look at it, man. If they can get $10 out of you, they can get 10,000. That's how they mind work. If he'll come off this money, I can get more money. I can get more resources. I can get this. I can get that. A lot of guys going to a strip club, especially down here in Florida, and they're like, "Oh, I got her phone number." Everybody got her phone number, bro. That's part of the game. It's making you think you special because you got her phone number. She's giving everyone her number. In fact, she got 2 phones. So you have her business number, right? Which is going to lead you. And then she'll give you her Instagram, and then she'll shoot you to her OnlyFans. Oh, come on, just join my OnlyFans. It's only $5 a month. I mean, come on. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you love me, right? I mean, I do so much for you. This is how they work their game, bro. This is how they work their game. It's slow, it's methodical, man. It's like an anaconda, man, on the squeeze. I'm not mad. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. And all I do is keep buying. Hilarious. And that's Brother Tarus. But yeah, but like back to this manosphere thing, bro. Like the manosphere right now, people are making big money, right? Everyone right now is basically copying the Fresh and Fit format. You know, they have a big table, they bring women on, they, you know, I mean, just talking, and you know, they're talking about, you know, what do you want in a man? It's like it's cookie cutter, you know what I mean? And they're getting views, they're getting big views. I mean, which is great. They're getting big views. You don't have to be very like, you know, good at the whole interview part. You don't have to be insightful. You don't, you know, it's just, it's, you know, it's like copy and paste, right? So Fresh and Fit started that. And I mean, go out there and see it. Now women are getting in on it. There's always been female dating coaches, right? But now women are getting in on, well, let's bring them in studio. Let's interview women. Let's talk this stuff. Again, looking at Fresh and Fit success. Right, so you got people like Courtney Ryan. You got Just Pearly Things. You got Pearl over in the UK doing it and doing it well. Like she's coming up on 1 million subscribers. Last time I checked, she was like 700,000 plus subscribers. She'll probably be 1 million subscribers before the end of January, if not sooner. Her platform is growing like crazy. Now Pearl, she's doing the work. Like she's out in the streets. She's doing the woman on the street thing. She's doing interviews. She's inviting people back. Like she works hard. She works hard. And you know, her Patreon is growing, and you know, like she's making it happen. Like, you know, shout out to her. You know, I tip my hat to her. She just had Andrew Tate and Brittany Renner on her platform. Like, dude, she's killing it. Matter of fact, I wonder. Let me pull up. I wonder where she is right now. I'm curious now. I want to see where she is as far as subscribers. Let's see. Just Pearly Things. Where is she? 833,000 subscribers as of today, December 22nd. 833,000 subscribers. First time I saw her was on Fresh and Fit. She was on the panel. She was sitting at the table with a bunch of other women. First time I ever saw her. And then she went on to do her thing, and 833,000 subscribers. She'll have 1 million subscribers at this rate. She might do it by the end of this year. I mean, she's growing like crazy. It's over 100,000 subscribers since the last time I checked. I think I checked a few weeks ago. So, you know, it's only a handful of days left in this year, but she'll certainly do it by January 15th or by the end of January. She'll definitely be 1 million subscribers. It's crazy. She's doing big things. But when you listen to her talking points, she's basically mimicking everything she's heard from Rollo Tomasi, you know, Myron Gaines, Rich Cooper. It's the same talking points, but she has people there live in studio, and they're doing her thing. She's actually good at what she does. You know what I mean? She uses the red pill message to kind of bring down these women a couple pegs. You know, this is in London. Like she's doing this in London. I think she was thinking about, you know, returning to the U.S. She was talking about what city should she move into and set up. But she's been working hard. You know, salute to her. You got, you know, can't take nothing away from her. But she's out there getting and making bread, like her Patreon and everything else. She started a wife school or a wife academy or something like that. She's trying to bring women in and show them how to be more feminine and this, that, and the third. Again, she's making bread. She's trying to make bread off the women out there. I don't know how successful that'll be. You know, trying to, you know, I don't know how that will work, but at least she's trying it. But having Brittany Renner on there and you know, getting into that and, you know, just basically proving a lot of red pill tenets. You know, I mean, you listen to Brittany Renner, she's, you know, has regrets of how she did what she did, but she still got paid. It is what it is. Y'all gotta, it is what it is, y'all. I ain't mad, but you got Just Pearly Things. You got Courtney Ryan, Melanie King. You know what I mean? Melanie King, same thing. Like her platform is growing like crazy. She's well into, I want to say she's 300,000 subscribers or more right now. And she hasn't been doing lives. She used to do lives, and she was basically doing the Kevin Samuels thing. She knew Kevin Samuels. Her and Kevin Samuels were planning on doing a show together. And then, of course, you know, he died. But, yeah, Melanie King is at 316,000 subscribers on her platform. She's still putting out stuff, but she's putting out edited stuff. She's not, doing the lives as much. I haven't seen her do a live in months now. She said she's going to get back to it. We'll see. Doing these lives can be draining, bro. It can be draining. But she's doing well off of this. You know what I mean? There is a lot of money to be made in this space. The men are suffering. Men are trying to figure it out. And what do men really want, bro? Just keeping it 100. They just want a relationship. They want a stable relationship. And I'll tell you this. I agree with the premise that most men would cheat if they can get away with it. Most men will have multiple women if they can. I agree with that. But today's man, they just want a girlfriend and or wife. That's all they want. They're not even trying to be out there like that. And I'm talking about the bottom 80 and those guys. Most guys just want to have a woman. But if you're in the bottom 80, it's a wrap because most women ain't looking at you. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And since there's a problem, people are willing to come up with solutions and charge you, to help you solve your problem. There are a lot of people out there like that Derek Jackson guy was out there telling all these women what they want to hear, making millions of dollars doing it. You know what I mean? Millions of dollars. There are people out there who do the same thing to the dudes. You guys out there, if you're looking for help, be careful who you messing with. Because there's some dudes out here in the red pill space that will wreck your pockets just like these women out here wreck your pockets. They'll do the same thing. They'll finesse the hell out of you. If you let them. Be careful. Be careful who you holler at, bro. Be careful who you holler at. Like if you holler at someone like me, it's not going to be a Zoom call, bro. It's not going to be phone calls. Nah, you're going to have to come see me. We're going to have to go somewhere to a city. I'm going to have to come see you. You know what I mean? It's in person. Like, we're going to sit down, talk to you, see what's up with you. I'm going to talk to you about, I want to see how socially calibrated you are. Like, bro, what kind of person are you? Are you a weirdo? Basement dweller? Like, what are you? All right, look at you like, all right, bro. Have you give me a self-assessment. Like, it's a whole process, but you're sitting there with me. I want to see how focused you are. I want to see how easily you're distracted by women. I want to see how quick you go to your wallet. This is like, it's real coaching, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, there are guys out there who are like, well, I'm going to teach you these pickup artistry things. I'm not a pickup artist. I didn't know about that until I fell down the rabbit hole, the red pill. I'm not a pickup artist. I've read the books, right? Recently, in the past year, I've read so many damn books, right? So like the mastery or the game or whatever the hell, like that book was about by mystery or whatever. I read that. I can't remember. I read it. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I see what they were doing. I get it. It's like, all right, yeah, man, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. Like, I'm going to teach you a line and go do that. No. I'm going to start with you. You know what I mean? We're going to get into what makes you tick, how to make you a better person, a better man. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're going to be dudes that come up to me wanting my help, whatever. I'll pay you whatever. And they're like just assholes, shitty people. I ain't going to work with them. Because y'all know my motto, bro. All money ain't good money. If you're a shitty person, bro, I don't even want to work with you. This is how it is. I mean, if you're really shitty like that, you're probably going to get women anyway, man, because they're drawn to assholes anyway. If you're a real asshole, you don't even need my help. Go on out there, bro. You'll be able to get some chicks. For whatever reason, they love assholes. You know what I mean? But I'm looking for the dude, the hardworking, the good guy who's been out here doing it right. The good guy who fell for the Disney fairy tale. I'm looking for them guys. You know what I mean? I'm looking for them dudes just to let them know, like, bro, that's all bullshit. You know what I mean? It's ain't no happily ever after, bro. You got to work hard, man. You got to continue to work hard. Them the dudes that I want to talk to, right? The way you smell, the way you look, the way your hair looks, the way your beard looks, you know what I mean? The car you drive, all that. It doesn't have to be a Bugatti, but you can't be driving around in a bucket, bro. You can't. And if you got a bucket, that's one of the things we'll tell you, man. Like, man, leave that shit at home, bro. Go pick her up in an Uber. Like it's certain things. You know what I mean? Like like we talked about cologne. That's huge. Your style. You don't have to go out here and buy designer stuff and all that kind of shit. Clothes don't make the man. The man makes the clothes. You could buy some shit from Walmart or Target and it look good on you. That's the shit to get. Now, I don't suggest shopping there because the stuff is kind of all, whatever. It don't fit right. But find clothes that fit you right. And once you find that brand, whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be a high-end known brand or whatever, it's just this stuff fits you right. Now you can order that stuff on Amazon, come right to your door. You ain't got to go to the store no more. You know what I mean? Find out, what type of person you are. Like I get into the details on the individual. Like, bro, you having trouble because of this. You need to work on this. Go work. And it's not like, oh, go home and work on it. Like, nah, we about to work on this right now. Go over there, go up to that group of people and do this. That's the kind of stuff that I'm going to be working on. You know what I mean? So the stuff you got to work on your own is, working out. You know what I mean? And becoming, going out here and finding a career, get yourself going, get your money up. That shit you got to work on your own. I'll help you with the social stuff. I'll give you the skill set you need to go up and talk to people. Not just women, people. We get your confidence up. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to work on. But you're going to have people out there like in this red pill world, they'll come up and, oh, I guarantee you go over and talk to this girl and I guarantee you get laid. And it was Rich Cooper who was talking about this the other day. These guys will set you up. They'll have pros. They'll have prostitutes already placed in the spot. So when y'all walk in there, you're thinking, oh, look, there's an attractive woman over there sitting by herself. Okay, go over here, say this line and da-da-da-da-da. You go over there, you say the line. Lo and behold, she wants to go home with you. You smash. And then you figure out later that the guy that you hired paid her to basically have sex with you. You got to be careful of that, bro. That's the stuff you got to be careful of right there. And, when people are like, where are we going to go? Like, shit, I don't know. Let's pull out our phones and figure out a place to go. Let's go to a few places. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about, bro. That's the kind of stuff y'all need to be looking out for. Everybody's trying to get your money. We're going into this recession is going to be hard. People going to see you as a mark, period. Just like the strippers see you, these dudes and these other people in the red pill spaces, they're going to come and they're going to try to get your money. Right? So be careful. Be careful. It's like buying a lemon. Right? Back in the day, you could go out there and buy you a car. Before Carfax, it was tough. You had to do your own research, run VINs and all that kind of stuff. Carfax made it a little easier. But before Carfax, man, you really didn't know what you was getting. Right? You didn't know how much the dealer had into it and all this kind of stuff, man. People were getting ripped off left and right, overpaying for used cars and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that now. Be careful who you choose when going out here trying to get some help. So let me catch up with the chat. Let's see. Primal study, is this a trend? It'll phase out at some point. The smart ones will find the next transition and move. The rest will be left behind. I hear you. Brother Hayoka, the art of seduction. The siren character or geisha, woman of the floating world, taking you away from all your worries. Yeah, that's what dudes want. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka be coming with the high IQ stuff, bro. For real. I like that. Brother Tarus, what's your opinion on the women entering the manosphere space? Is it overall or specifically in the red pill community that they want to be in? Women coming into the space, they're coming into the manosphere. They're coming into RP space like Pearl. And I mean, I don't have a problem with it, because in most cases, all they're doing is regurgitating stuff that you're going to find from men, but they don't truly understand it. And there's a lot of guys who, I kind of go with that take. It's really hard for a woman to understand the male struggle, especially when it comes to dating, right? It's just kind of like me going in, I'm going to coach girls on how to be feminine. I don't know how to be feminine. I'm a man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even if I'm just regurgitating all of the talking points, how effective can I really be? You know what I mean? I'm not a woman. I don't understand that. So these women can't possibly truly understand what these dudes are going through. They just can't. You know what I mean? But it's entertaining. I give you that. And they're coming in because, again, it's bread. These guys, these bottom 80, man, like, guys like seeing women on screen. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, why you want to bring women on your show? Like, 'cause dudes will tune in. If I got a dime sitting next to me talking about stuff, they don't even care what we're talking about. When we get deeper into the political season on Downrange Podcast, you're gonna see some beautiful women come and talk to me about politics. Why? Because men like looking at beautiful women talk. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I guess that's my take on that. Women entering the space. I'm gonna drop the link, man, for like the last 10 minutes or so. Let me drop the link in here just in case anybody wants to talk about this. And I would be curious to hear y'all take on this as well. You know what I mean? So let me drop the link in there real quick. There it is. But that's my take on that, Brother Truce. Brother Primal, the red pill female content creators are simp hunting. Yes, they are. It's sad to see that men give them money that are just repeating the same talking points that have been around for years. And that's it right there. You know what I mean? That's it right there. That's all it is. It's, bro, it's all about that bread, bro. Guys, they're simp hunting. You know, look at Melanie King used to have a segment where it's called Shoot Your Shot, right? She would do a live and have all these dudes just basically trying to holler at her, like, what's up, girl? Let me take you away from all this. I can be your man and da 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 da. And bro, saddest thing I ever seen in my life. Saddest thing I ever seen in my life. So, and it would be to the point where you couldn't even get on a live. I remember I jumped on her live because she was talking about something relationship-wise, and I wanted to get her take on it. And I couldn't even get in because there was so many people. It was packed. You couldn't even get in. There was so many dudes trying to get in there to shoot their shot at Mel King. It was crazy. And I finally got in there, and Mel realized I wasn't even looking at her like that. I was all about the topic. Like, well, no, let's talk about this. We're having a good, healthy back and forth. And I would go on her show often. When they got to the point where she'd see me and she would like, oh, DL's here, and she'd just put me right up. And dudes in the back chat mad. I've been waiting longer. How come he gets to go up? Because you a simp ass motherfucker. That's why. So sit back and shut up, simpity simp. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and I'm going to be 100 with you. She has so many people trying to holler at her. I went in there with a $50 super chat. That's what got her to pull me up. I sent the super chat in first about the topic, and then I got in the back, and I waited, and she saw that. She was like, oh, DL's. It's people like, so you leading with your wallet? Nah, bro, that's an investment to get me on the screen. Once I got on the screen, she saw what time it was. I don't have to do nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't have to do nothing. And then she see I ain't trying to holler at her. And it was funny, too, because I just got this system. I just upgraded to my soundboard and everything, right? So she, we was on there, we were talking about something, whatever, we're laughing and all that. I got good stuff. And I'm like, oh, you know, I made up this little story. I was like, my buddy saw that I was on here, and he was like, man, you was on there with Mel King, man. You supposed to holler at her, bro. You supposed to get on, man. How come you ain't holler at her? Next time you on there, make sure you holler at her, bro. So I told Mel King this. I said, look, so my man said if I'm on here again with you, I gotta holler. So you ready for me to shoot my shot, girl? You ready? You want to hear me shoot my shot? And she sat back. It's out here. It's out there somewhere. It's in her content. She sat back. She was like, go ahead. And y'all know what I did. I hit this button. Holla, 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 holla. I hit that button. She started laughing. She was like, you playing on my phone? And she kicked me off, and she just kept on laughing. She was like, I love DL. You know what I mean? So that is, that's how I get down. People like, you're leading with your wallet. Like, nah, bro. You know what I mean? You got to give people attention. The best way to do is throw some money that way. Once I got the attention, once I got in there, she realized it's business. It's business with me. You know what I mean? But all them simps, bro, go back and watch it, man. Go to her platform, Melanie King. Go back there and watch it. Shoot your shot. That's what the title is called in the thumbnails. Bro, it's disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting. Brother Tarus, what's good, fam?
Yo, what's up, man? Dog, you speaking facts today. Like,
trying to maneuver in this swamp, this Mano swamp, bro. Trying to maneuver. I want these people to understand that. There's people out here trying to get in your pockets, bro. You in the Badlands. You are in the fucking Badlands.
Straight up, I really came to ask you, like, really break it down, because you, JT, hey, our brother Hayoka in the chat, man, he really sent me down a very good rabbit hole. But I would like for you to really break that down to me, like the women entering the space. Like, what was your initial reaction? And now that it's like coming in, or like now that it's got some wave going, what do you think now?
It made sense to me, bro. It's a money grab. It's not even a money grab. It's capitalism, bro. It's capitalism. That's all it is. You know what I mean? They see an opportunity to make money. Women understand that guys are gonna flock to their page. You know, Pearl. No disrespect to Pearl. I think she's sharp. I respect her, but she's not the most attractive woman out there. Pearl is not pretty. She knows that, but she's coming up on 1 million subs. Think about that. Melanie King, opposite spectrum. Melanie is beautiful. She's older though. You know what I mean? Mel is older, but she is fine, right?
She's
She
all right.
know that. Dude, to the bottom 80s, she is, most guys will call her a 10. Most dudes in these YouTube spaces will call her a 10. Like, just keep it 100. With the makeup on and everything and the hair and, you know what I mean? Like, the way she moved, these dudes will do anything. So it makes sense to me that they're going to come to the red pill space. They're going to set up shop and they're going to make money. Melanie King basically talking, it's the Kevin Samuels message. I think she was making a run to get the Kevin Samuels crowd. The one-on-one, average at best, you know, hoping to get something to go viral. That's what Mel King was doing. And just pearly things. She's the female fresh and fit. I mean,
how do you think you evaluate the ones that are authentic and the ones that are grifter? Because Pearly, I agree with you, but at least Pearly seems authentic, right? Like
yes.
she's in there with good intentions. Like, how do you go about evaluating the ones that are fake and real?
I mean, you can pretty much tell. Like Pearl, I haven't seen Pearl sell anything until she got to this this wife course thing she's doing, this wife academy or whatever she's doing. And I'm pretty sure she's charging for that. But I haven't seen, outside of her Patreon, I haven't seen her selling anything. She's not selling courses and stuff like that. You know, she does have tiers on her Patreon. Like if you want a one-on-one with her, like if you want to talk to her or, you know, whatever, she does that. But anybody who comes into space, male or female, and the first thing they're doing is selling, they're pushing a course. That's when you know, like, all right, you know, especially when they're not bringing anything new to the space. Like I think Pearl believes in what she's talking about, but she's like me. She's like recently red pilled or whatever. So, but she's female. I don't know any guys who started a platform was just a guy or doing what Pearl is doing and has gotten that success outside of Fresh and Myron.
No, you're right, bro. She shot up quickly,
bro. Quickly. And then you ask for Brother Hyoka and bam, there he is.
Yeah, my guy.
Yeah, so I don't think that Brother Jason's in the house. What's good, fam? I see Brother Jason's in the house, man. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Shout out to everybody. Sister Ross is in the house too. What's good, love? Good to see you. Nightish is in the house as well. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming through. I really appreciate the support. I really do. Thanks to everyone who has contributed to Cash App and everything. Y'all the reason I'm married to do this stuff, man. I got my camera's coming soon. Got enough money to get a new camera. Camera is coming soon. And that's thanks to everyone out here.
See, and this is what pisses me off about you, bro. I got to look at your Cash App. I can't just send a super chat like I be doing everyone else.
Well, hold on. Don't look at the Cash App. We're almost monetized. We got less than 300 watch hours. We're almost monetized, man. I really, really appreciate that. I am the single one. What's good, love? Welcome. I am the single one. If you got time, if you can, it would be great to have you on a panel. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm not even sure if you're familiar with the manosphere, red pill world, and what we're talking about, but it would be good to have you on the panel because brother Tarus is definitely going to have some questions for all of us. Brother Hyoka, what's good, man?
Doing fine. How are you today, brothers?
How you doing, bro?
Doing all right. I was thinking about what you were saying about Pearl's wife's school, and I was looking at MTR the other day, and while I'm looking at it, MTR said something about her friend, Pearl's friend, how feminine she was, and how approachable she seemed to be, and I was like, Pearl's working on it with her. You know what I mean? So I anticipate that that's going to be out soon. The wife school thing.
The white school, and she's targeting women, which I think is really rare. She's targeting women. I think it's good. I think it's rare. But
how do y'all two think that's going to break down, though? Like, how do y'all two think that's going to, just from the male perspective, how do y'all think that's going to look, that program?
What you talking about? Her feminine school?
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna. The white school. I don't think it's gonna be successful, bro. I could be wrong, but I just you know, people get mad at me, but this is one of the things in which I agree with Myron on the Fresh and Fit platform. Women don't feel the need to self-improve. As men, we know we have to self-improve. We have to get better. We know this as men, right? But women They don't believe that they need to self-improve. So for a woman to sign up and go to a wife school, right off rip, she's admitting that she has to improve. And I don't, and then she's paying money to do it. I don't think that that's going to go well. I hope I'm wrong. I hope women turn the corner. Brother Hayoko, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that it might work out only because of two things. That do you remember the report? What is it? 45% of women by 2030 will be single and childless, and what is it? Between the ages of 25 and 44, that's going to be a big market, the she economy. And as Zig Ziglar, who was leading a salesman, once said, he said, men buy condoms and liquor, women buy everything else.
Yes.
So the thing about it is that if she can create the need, I would imagine one of the things that when I was listening to you two earlier, DL, you pointed out that if you had a beautiful woman, you said, well, Pearl's not too attractive. Don't get me wrong, and it's no slight against Pearl, but if you had an attractive woman doing the same thing, you would probably get way more people looking at that and making money with it. Melanie, as you pointed out, is older, but if you could sign somebody to contract, that would be an interesting thought.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, beauty sells no matter what. You know what I mean? I remember back in the 90s, my supervisor, Murph, rest in peace, Murph. My supervisor told me, he's an older white guy from the Northeast, and we were in California. He was like, do you know what the most valued commodity is on planet Earth? And I was like, nah, what is that? He was like, women between the ages of 18 and 24. And I'm like, what? He was like, that is the most expensive commodity, like the most valuable commodity. And I don't know where he read it, but this was way back. He's not a red pill guy or anything like that. I don't even know how we got on the conversation. But then he was talking about like Victoria's Secret models. He's talking about like advertising. He's like, look, this is what they use to sell everything. And I was like, it never left me. And then you get, fast forward to now, and he's right. I mean, and if you got a beautiful young woman, she can sell anything. Anything.
Yeah. That's true.
Pointed out, regardless of the demographic, that
yes.
Those are the ages that are most attractive.
Yes.
And more fertile, right? If we want to look at it from a biological standpoint.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah. Man, it's crazy because like I didn't know how do you say her name? Melanie King? I've seen
Melanie
her
King
on the algorithm. I didn't know she was older. How old is Pearlie?
I think Pearl is like in her late 20s. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how old she is. I'm guessing she's in her late 20s. Mel is in her late 30s, early 40s. She says her age. I want to say she's in her late 30s, early 40s. I have to go back and look.
I thought she was around 38 or so.
Yeah, something like that. I think you're right.
Because Melanie, here's my opinion, right? It's really tough seeing women in the red pill. And Hayoka, I really want to give you a shout out, UDL and JT, because y'all really set me straight with the difference between the manosphere as a community and then the subgenre. So really thank you for helping me separate that.
And Life of Cash says that Pearl's 26. Shout out to you, bro.
For me, I know we try not to do the whole shoot the messenger stuff, but man, it's really hard sometimes to like see women give dating advice, and then you look at Melanie and then you look at Pearl and you're like, okay, well, why are you currently single? If you know all the rules and all the hip to the game, how come no dude has wiped you up yet?
Well, Melanie was wiped up, and Pearl has had guys. But here's the thing, though, that goes into it. It goes into the whole message of the manosphere. Women have this abundance of choice. No matter where they are on that scale, that 1 to 10 scale, no matter where they are, they have this abundance of choice until they reach a certain point. And once they reach that point, they kind of call it the wall. Go ahead, brother Hayoka.
Well, to dovetail with you, the problem that those two face is this: as they become more and more famous and they make more and more money, their standards of what they're going to accept are going to change.
Sure.
And they can potentially price themselves out of the market in the sense that women as a whole don't want to marry someone who's making less or equal to them. So because of hypergamy, it's the Pearl and Melody, they might do it simply because they understand the dynamic, but it doesn't make it any easier. Their biology, they'll be fighting against their biological nature. They would be looking for a man who's making equal to or better than them, as opposed to somebody who's making less. And as they blow up, that's going to be problematic.
So DL and Hyoka, it just again, let's put ourselves in a multiverse, that way we don't get in trouble with anybody we're in a relationship with. In a multiverse, would you guys date either or, like one of those two? Would you consider it?
What do you mean by date? And you got to
like,
talk.
Would you?
Would I smash? Would I smash, or would I?
That's
you talking
different.
about?
That's different. Like, most dudes will stick their dick in anything, but I'm talking about like try to date, get to know each other, get in a relationship. Would you try that with either two?
Brother Hoyoka, you go first, and I'll go second.
Well, between the two, the more seasoned would be Melanie, and I think that she would be. And no offense to Pearl, but Melanie is a classier woman.
Okay.
Can be.
Okay,
and I would. Okay, to your answer, no. Would I engage in a long-term relationship with either one of those two? No, I would not. You know what I mean? Would I smash? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Pearl would be a tough one. I would have to be, no disrespect, Pearl, but I would have to be drunk. You know what I mean? Like I would have to be drunk. But like yeah, Mel, could Mel get it? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? But it would be, again, we're men. I could smash and go on about my business. You know what I mean? It won't even register. But there are a lot of women out there trying to do that these days, and I think that's a huge problem with our society. It's a huge problem. Ladies, y'all can't smash like men. Don't try. And Brother Hyoka, why is that?
The reason why is because the more partners that a woman has, the more she leaves a piece of an emotional piece of herself with each one of them. And the more men she has in her life, the more it's harder for her to emotionally become engaged with a man who wants to be in a relationship with her, because she's had all these other relationships. So it makes it problematic. And that's what you find with the strippers as well. The more men that they look at, the less they look at men as easier. You see, you can't do something on a continuous basis and it not affect you. So that's where the problem with that comes in.
I mean, and it does.
So like specifically, let's stick to one for now. Melanie, right? So she's mid-30s. She's been married before. Does she have a kid?
Yeah, she has kids.
Yeah, she has kids.
Right. So specifically, she's more classier than Pearl, but what would be the catch with dating Melanie, besides obviously the social media aspect of it?
Well, for each child, you have to take away kind of like points in the sense of saying that.
How many does she have?
I think 3, something like that.
From the same guy, though, right?
Yeah, same dude. I think it's. Oh, you know what? Good point. I think it might be between 2 men. I don't know, and I don't want to get. I'm cool with Mel, so I don't really want to get in her business like that. But she was in a traditional relationship, and then it didn't work. And then she was on Kevin Samuels, and Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. She was on Kevin Samuels. She was one of the women that called in, and then she began the process of becoming red-pilled, I think, through that episode. And then her and Kevin were trying to work on the show. And I think she went on Kevin Samuels after she got divorced, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that makes sense. See, and now I get why Melanie's actually different, because a lot of the times, yes, you got to take points off with single mothers. But like, if you had 3 kids, but you was in a marriage, that's different, right? You know what I mean? You was in a committed relationship, whatever. But I think, like, for example, there's not a lot of women telling or explaining to other women that a lot of the times, sometimes it's not even the amount of kids that a woman has, it's the amount of baby fathers. And then most, like for me, right? I'm married, but in a multiverse, I don't have a problem dating a woman with kids, but I'm going to look at that child as a reflection of her mothering skills, because I think you guys will both agree there's certain characteristics and certain like behaviors that a parent should be able to teach their child that transcends being in a 2-parent household or something like that. So if your kid is reckless as hell, that's a reflection on you as a mom, right? You know what I mean? And that's a lot of the times that will drive away guys.
I mean, there's another thing to look at as well. Like the manosphere preachers don't wife up, don't get into a long-term relationship or marry a woman who's a single mom. And, what they like to say, especially on Fresh and Fit, single moms are recreational use only, right? When it comes to that sort of thing. Now, that one I gave a lot of thought to because I came up in a world where there were nothing but single moms. You know what I mean? Like when I was a young man, once I hit 18 and throughout, I would say 1 in 5 women that I dealt with were single moms. And as I got older, that would increase. So, like in my teens and early 20s, like maybe 1 in 5. Once I started approaching my 30, it was like maybe 1 in 3. You know what I mean? And then it got to a point where it was like, all right, maybe 4 out of 5 women aren't single moms. You know what I mean? By the time I got to my mid 30s. So, and nowadays it's like, I don't even expect to meet a woman who doesn't have children. So
that's why I disagree with Fresh and Fit, because I grew up with a I don't call him my stepdad. I call him my real dad because he was,
but he's just,
he
but he's not your biological.
When he was 4.
But he's not your biological father.
Yeah, he's not my biological father, and Lord knows where I'd be if my dad believed the same thing Myron and them believes. I would have been fucked as a kid. You know what I mean?
It's possible, but would you acknowledge that your dad took an extraordinary amount of risk in doing what he did?
I agree, and I would say yes. However, this gets to the point where what if I was such a problematic child at 4 or 5 years old that like I hated him, or like I was really rude and disrespectful? Don't you think that like just in general, don't you think that could kind of drive off a man? Like maybe this is a really good woman, but this kid right now is then out of control.
Absolutely, bro. And here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Even as an old guy, it makes no sense for me to take on a woman who has a child, especially like a younger child. Why expose myself to that? Like in your scenario here. Not only am I taking on the kid, but he's a knucklehead. Like, come on now. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. Recreational use only. I don't want to be around a child. And as a single dad, I don't want anyone, just any old body around my daughter. I don't bring just any old woman around my daughter. Go ahead, Brother Hayoka.
In relationship to, like you said, if it was a 5-year-old, he was problematic. That would reflect on the mother. And the problem with that would be is that she's not disciplining him properly. And if this was to continue onward, you'd have a problem child in your life. And truth be told, there was, to give an example of just how children can be, there was a couple that adopted a Russian child. And when they brought him to the States, when he was in school, he would make pictures of burning the house down with everybody in it. Oh. They took and sent him back to Russia. And they said they told the people somebody would pick him up on the other end, but there was nobody. And so the Russians changed the law because of it. So you can have real world consequences by how you raise your children. And it is a reflection of the mother as to how those children react to you and things like that. But as far as staying, I'm always of the opinion that it's the woman that makes a man stay. The children accentuate that. If you got a problem child, well, you might be able to work that out if you love her enough. But it's the woman that makes the man stay. Men don't, like they would tell you, wars have been fought over women, not over children.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, and here's another thing too. Like again, I have to agree with what the manosphere preaches when it comes to that sort of thing, because the way the laws are structured. So as a single guy, you get into a woman's life, like this situation you're talking about with a bad guy, with a bad kid. That father this new stepdad guy, he wants to step up, be the guy that stepped up, right? And he wants to discipline this child, but the woman says no. All right, nothing you can do about that. Now you've already married this woman, right? So you've been with this woman for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. All right, I've had enough. I want to leave, which the numbers don't bear that out. In most cases, the woman would leave you. You know what I mean? So imagine that, like you're in the situation, you're trying to do the best you can for this woman, like Brother Hayoka is saying, for the woman, you take on her child, you take on her responsibilities, you provide security and resources and provisioning and all that good stuff. And then she decides, you know what, I don't want you, she leaves. you find yourself in family court paying child support for a child that's not biologically yours. Because the court are like, well, you're the only father this child's ever known, therefore you have to pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Hey,
problem.
y'all remember that one dude in Michigan who found out that kid wasn't his for 18 years and they still made him pay? Man, get the hell out of here with that nonsense, man.
So here's the thing, and that's why I think that the manosphere is needed, because my thing is this. Let's get the information out there. This is what could happen. Now go on and do you, bro. Go on, you a grown-ass man. If you want to mess with that chick and her badass little, her baby, she got like a little baby there, you know what I mean? You got baby's kids. You want to mess with baby and baby kids, and you wind up paying child support for that. That's on you, because you knew, right? The manosphere told you. That's what I like about the manosphere. Don't cry about it. That's I'm in a situation now. I don't cry about it. I chose this woman. I did what I did with this woman. It is what it is. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm just gonna deal with it. But so many men cry about it and like, oh, we hate all women and this, that, and the third. That's the part I don't like. And the manosphere teaches guys, this is what you could be doing. We told you that female, recreational use only. She got a kid. But I mean, she loved me and I was her prince charming and da 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 da. All right, we'll sit there and pay your child support on a kid that's not even yours. Prince Charming.
Yeah, in relationship to what you said, you just made me think of Captain Save a Ho, but
yeah. I want to be saved.
Yeah. But what happens is that you get a lot of men who have red pill rage.
Yes.
Because
break that down.
Well, red pill rage is looking at your life or looking at a situation and realizing that what you thought it wasn't what it was at all. And so you feel to some degree that you've been taken advantage of. And because of hypergamy, women have to do what women do. But men don't necessarily understand. We anticipate or we look at life as though the relationship between a mother and her and her son, or a mother and child, that bond, but that's not the bond that women have with you. And because women don't have that bond with you, you're looking at women through a wrong lens. Your perspective is wrong. Your mother supports you for your life. Your woman supports you for her life. And because of that, what happens is that you have to look at it as an opportunistic type of love. Don't get me wrong about it, in the sense that I'm not saying that there's not love there, but you have to understand the source of that love. That is where the red pill comes in, or the manosphere comes in educating men to understand that there is a difference between the love that you got from your mother and the love that you get from your woman.
Yeah. And there's a lot of dudes that they just can't grasp that concept. And it is what it is. Like, there's so many dudes in the manosphere they fell down the red pill rabbit hole, but they hear this stuff, but they don't honestly understand and accept it. I see it all the time. There are dudes that like red pill, rah, 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 red pill. Then they meet a girl. And then it's like, no more red pill doesn't exist. All this stuff that they saw doesn't mean anything. They're right back to pedestalizing her, doing all this other kind of stuff. It doesn't work. Then they come back and now it's like Brother Hayoka said, it's red pill rage. Like, but that's your fault, bro. You know what I mean? That's 100% your fault. Like, you been here for how long and you didn't get nothing out of this? You didn't take nothing. But but she was the perfect one. It was different. Disney fairy tale. That's what you get, bro. You got wrecked. Sorry. You're sorry, but not sorry.
And you're operating from a source of scarcity. Right off the bat, as you pointed out, she was the only one. And not evaluating your options. The one thing, one of the major points that you get from the manosphere or the red pill is that you have to come from your point of perception. We've been trained as males most of our lives to defer to women, open the door and do other things for women, and think about ourselves last. And so what happens is that you can't grow up with 50, 60 years of indoctrination and just drop it overnight. So even though you might learn the ways of red pill, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you are totally red pill, in the sense of saying that you've gotten rid of all the programming that you've experienced all your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Point. That's an outstanding point. I want to catch up with the chat real quick. Brother Primal Studies, like, he's like asking, you see men entering the female spaces, why not? Because they won't make money. Here's the thing. Derek Jackson entered the female space and ran off with the bag. So there are guys who
What
will
a
do that.
colossal train wreck he became.
That's quite all right. As how many millions in? You know what I mean? And he got baddies now and whatever. So yeah, there are dudes out there going to do that. But I mean, I think it's going to be more women coming to the man space than more men going to the female space. But you look at Steve Harvey. You know what I mean? Same thing. He's telling lies. I mean, most of mainstream media is just out there telling women what they want to hear. Why? Because of the advertising dollars. Right? Steve Harvey's show is big, and it's like they don't care what they're telling women, just so long as they keep the advertisers keep paying. You know what I mean? That's mainstream. So I think women love being lied to. Men love being lied to as well. I mean, people want to get lied to. It's just they get into the red pill and they get this healthy dose of realism. And they don't know what to do with it. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of males running to the female space. Maybe, but like I said, the RP guys aren't going to go into the female world talking RP stuff, I don't think. But there are a lot of women who follow RP content, like Sister Candace, Tia Kiki. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, Brother Tarus. Brother Tarus coming in, you know what I'm saying? With the cash out. Appreciate that, fam. Thank you.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, that money is going straight to the hookers and cocaine fund. You know what I mean? It's gonna have some fun with that. Now it's going right back in. It's going right back into it. But yeah, Brother Primal, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if more men, red pill guys, transition to cater to more women. It seems.
DL, have you ever? I'm sorry, but to hit on Primal Studies chat, DL, have you ever tried to enter or just check out the female spaces at all? The
female spaces are mainstream spaces. It doesn't. There aren't any women out there learning how to be better women. It doesn't exist.
That's a good point. It is just the space. It's mainstream. Yeah,
it's mainstream. Yeah, go ahead, Brother Hayoka.
It's funny that you would mention that because I chat with women every day on female channels, and I get a lot of pushback. And
I bet you do.
And one of the things that they don't like is the fact that when I speak to them, to give you an example, some of their points are very hypergamous. Yes. And I tell them that the red pill is not about denying or getting rid of women. What it is it's about understanding hypergamy and the reactions or the actions that women take because of it. And so what happens is that someone said to me today, well, they essentially they refer to me kind of like as black pill. You can be alone without women and things like that. If that's your dream, hopefully your dreams come true. And I'm like, but it was never about that. It was about understanding that a lot of her points, even though she didn't know, were red pill points. So there are a lot of women who have red pill points. They just don't know it. Because if you think about it, because it's biologically based, a lot of what we're referring to, then it's hard not to know it. But right. They know it intrinsically. They don't know it extrinsically. Nobody's ever told them, well, listen, what you're saying is exactly what the red pill has always been saying.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing too. Most of the women I've encountered that are quote unquote red pill, these women have won the game. They have a husband that they admire, they love, that they respect, they have children, right? They've had their careers, but a lot of them are living at home, working from home, but they have their degrees and all that. But they won. They got the guy that they want. They're happy, right? Those tend to be the women that I find in red pill spaces. I have yet to come across. I mean, there are some single women they kind of, dip a toe into the world, look around and then they leave. But the women that I find that seem to be pretty much like hardcore, they've already won. And all they're trying to do is say, yeah, this is how it is. And I wish more women would, understand this so they can win, so they can find the guy. These women who have their hypergamous needs stopped when they met that guy. This is the guy they want, and they're happy and they're looking for nobody else. Whereas most women lie to themselves about hypergamy. They settle for a guy, and then they see a dude like, well, there he is. That's the guy I really want. And that's why I think we have these problems. Nightish has in the chat, it's Kevin Samuels, it's Kevin in panties. She has all the talking points that they can't say misogyny, and they can't say misogyny, exactly. So he's talking about Mel King. She's Kevin in panties. She has all the talking points, and they can't say misogyny to her, which they do. But, you know what I mean? They call her a pick-me. Same thing as Pearl, but that's a good point, brother. Life of Cash, at one point in society, there was a high level of respect in the community for stepfathers. There was, But stepfathers got wrecked by the legal system, so dudes are like, they want to stay away from it. Brother Jason, just got my knowledge of Pearl's family history, nominates her as the wife, 2-parent household with 9 kids. Here's the thing, like Pearl did come from that good background, but I guarantee you she got some bodies in the closet, bro. She was in college, she was an athlete, she was having a good time. I would not be surprised. You know what I mean? It's you know, like she said, it's on one of her shows herself. None of us here are traditional women because ain't none of us virgins. She was talking to a room full of women. She's like, ain't none of us raise your hand if you're a virgin. So like, you're not a traditional woman. Right off rip.
But in Pearlie and Melanie's case, right, it comes down to, okay, you've already got points taken off, like Hyoka said a few minutes earlier. Now it comes with how do you carry yourself now in the process, right? And that's what Jason was talking about. Like, she came from a stable household. She went through a marriage. Hey, marriages don't work. That's why 50%, right? You know, it happens. And she's at least not, she didn't go the other direction. She's still trying to be in a monogamous relationship. Like, is that what he's trying to say? Like, basically?
Maybe. I think Brother Jason was saying that she's a good woman because of her background. If you're going to take a chance on marrying someone, marry her. I think that's more to the point. Because earlier in the chat, he had said, I would smash Melanie, but I would marry Pearl. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the point he's trying to make. Like, well, you know, you got a better shot at her because of her background. Perhaps she has less bodies and stuff like that. Dino Dinosaur, fellas, UK women and US women are 2 different species. US women are predator level. Bro, I would argue they're the same, brother. When you watch Just Pearly Things and you watch Fresh and Fit or anybody else's platform, bro, you would think they're neighbors. You think they came out the same house. And that's something I really like watching that, because on Fresh and Fit, they'll be like, oh, you got all these Miami women. And, you know, Myron and Fresh will be the first one to point it out to you. No, these are women from all over America and at all levels. You got girls who are OnlyFans girls all the way up to PhDs. You got professionals, you got lawyers, doctors, nurses, you know what I mean? You got people in corporate America who come on that platform from all over America, all walks of life. You watch that show and then you watch what Pearl's doing. And the only difference is the women in the UK aren't as pretty as the women in America. That's the only difference. But everything else is the same. They're almost, it's like the exact same. So when you look at the Western world, you know, developed nations where feminism is strong, this is what's going on, right? And this is why they're going to have this study that 45% of women will be single by 2030. Feminism has led women to this abyss. It's given all the leverage to the top 20 guys, top 20% guys, and these women refuse to settle. And now this is what we're looking at.
Can I dovetail on that point?
Say again?
Can I dovetail on that point?
Oh, yeah, go right here.
I was looking at there's a brother who's worth like $700 million, and they were interviewing him and his wife as they went through the documentary or show or something like that. And one of the things his wife said was, my mother said, well, you know, if you marry a rich man, he does a lot of fishing. And I was like, oh, so she's telling her, you know, he dips his pole in a lot of waters, you know, so don't be surprised. So the only problem that women have as they make more money is that there's less of an option for them. You see what happened with Kim Kardashian, Erykah Badu, and quite a few others. If they don't get into a stable relationship, then what happens is they're just out there pretty much. And so I would agree in a sense that from a literal perspective, if you're going to wife, if it was between Melanie or Pearl would be the more stable, as far as probably not leave you, you know. But that's always been the issue, that because of hypergamy, it's also emotional instability involved with it. So you can't look for emotional instability from somebody who's biologically unstable. It just happens.
Are these women in the red pill spaces, or at least trying to get in there? What do you guys think they're talking about as far as like male income and shit like that? Are they pushing the same narrative, or are they actually trying to bring other women to reality?
It's the same. They're trying to bring them to reality using RP talking points. So, like, you know, if you watch Pearl or if you watch Mel King or any of these other women, like the video you sent me, and we're gonna do that video hopefully probably next week.
Okay.
You know, because you sent me that video, and that was Courtney Ryan, right? She's starting to get into it, where they're trying to bring women back to reality. Like when you watch Fresh and Fit or you watch some of these other platforms, they ask women like, well, you know, what's your ideal man? almost always they describe the same dude, over 6 feet, right? He's fit, he had the 6-pack, and he's making over 6 figures. Most of these women, like, they want guys who are making north of $300,000 a year, and they think most men make this money because this is the world that they move in. They only smash these guys. So they're like, well, everyone's like that. All men, they'll ask, like Pearl does this all the time. Well, how much sex do you think the average man has had in the past year? You know what I mean? Do you think men are having a lot of sex? And they're like, yeah, dudes they're smashing all the time, blah, blah, blah. Because these girls are smashing the same dudes. And Pearl will point out to him, was like, no. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like most men between 18 and 30 have had zero sexual contact with women over the past 12 months. And the girls are like, that's not true. That's not. Yes, it is. It's like, because you ain't smashing them. You know what I mean? Y'all smash, and Pearl will say that, like, y'all smashing the same dudes. So what they're trying to do is bring women back to reality. But again, that's like what Brother Hayoka was saying. You're fighting biology. It's really hard to fight hypergamy, especially in a society where it's like it's rampant. There's you go, girl.
Especially in our culture, man. We're so materialistic. That's 10 times worse than a lot of other places.
You know,
I mean, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Hayoka.
Chris Rock would always say, if a man could sleep with a woman in a cardboard box, he would. But I always say, would any woman take it if given a choice between a cardboard box and a mansion? That she would love the man. She might very well love the man who's in a cardboard box, but she's going with the man who's got the mansion.
Yeah.
And that's why you have alphas and betas in the sphere to begin in the situation to begin with, because a lot of times one man does not meet the requirements that the woman has. So you have one man for the genetics and you have the other man for the long-term care of the children. This is why when you look at through among men that have been tested, 30% of the children that they say that they thought that were theirs aren't theirs at all. Because, and this is among men that were tested, not all men. So that the numbers are possibly even higher. So the thing about it is to say that men cheat or exercise options is one thing, but it also points out that when you might be in a stable relationship, but I know someone who is not complete blood in a family. They're a half sister, and only because of the fact that you can literally, and this is before genetic testing, believe it or not, but because of the condition that the child had, both parents had to have the gene for it.
Right.
Only one of them had it. So you know what happened there.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dio.
I was gonna say, JT's here, but stand by one, bro. Brother Dino Dinosaur, DL is only in UK podcast that you hear RP and Blue and BP talk, Blue Pill talk. UK female podcasts are jumping on the money train. I believe you, bro. And there's money to be had. Again, if you look halfway decent and you're a female, I can't tell you how many women I know. I'm trying to encourage them to do podcasts. Like, hey man, jump on my platform. Because you're like, well, why? I'm like, because dudes will love to look at you. You're pretty. You know what I mean? It's bottom line. JT, what's good, fam?
What's happening, homie? What's going on?
Oh man, we just sitting here trying to make this happen, bro. And I mean, we got a little bit off topic because the topic is the Mano Swamp, and I kind of wanted to bring us back for the next 15 minutes. Let's get back on topic about the Mano Swamp. And Brother True's ask any questions you want, because it's like he's learning. So I love it. I love these conversations we have with him. But JT and Brother Hayoka, exactly. Even though you cheer for a bullshit ass team here in Detroit, man, but at least y'all win again.
Yo, shots fired.
I'm gonna let him keep talking. Though. You just watch them boys work.
All right, we'll
watch
see.
them boys work. I
ain't mad. I mean, only way we'll face each other will be in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be great?
That'll be great.
Wouldn't that be great? So here's the thing. What are your thoughts? Brother Hayoka, Brother JT, y'all known about the Manosphere Red Pill world longer than me. You know what I mean? Do you agree with Rich Cooper or disagree with when he says it's the Mano Swamp now and there's a lot of charlatans, there's a lot of people that coming in there just trying to get money and wreck men, the very men who need the help are being preyed upon? I agree with him, but what are y'all thoughts? Do you agree, disagree?
I agree in the sense of sorry.
No, it's on you, brother. Go ahead.
I agree in the sense of saying that if you're just coming to the manosphere and you don't know what you're necessarily looking at, you can be liable for anything. And so you have to do due diligence. And I don't know whether a lot of, because there's going to be men who are going to say, well, listen, follow this course or do this thing, and this will guarantee you women, or this will put you in a position to get to the women that you want to get to. And if you look at the numbers between 18 and 28 of men not having sex, you're going to have a lot of testosterone there. You're going to have a lot of strange thinking, and that's going to allow you to be prey to a lot of people. So if you're coming to look for advice and direction, you got to kind of take it slow, and you got to kind of know who you're talking to.
Okay. And Brother JT, what's your take on it?
I kind of agree with what he's saying. However, I welcome it all, because you got to be intelligent to even, understand what's actually going on in manosphere or the red pill sector, right? Because what happens is that everything has to evolve. So it brings great conversation, and us being content creators, we always going to have some type of content when it comes down to this whole manosphere, what's fake, what's not, blue pill, red pill, whatever pill they talking about, because we have a lot of guys like myself that I'm not a subscriber or a non-subscriber of it. Whatever makes sense to me, and then I'm in alignment with, that's just what I go with. And the rest of the stuff, I don't really pay attention to it. Maybe it's because of my age, how long I've been living, or because a lot of this is for the upcoming guys. These guys that's actually trying to get their footing in life, whether it's dating, making money, being successful in all avenues. So I welcome it all, because it's all about intentions anyway. If somebody gets in here and try to, make it a cash cow by, giving advice, more power to them. I don't really have a problem with it.
All right, I feel you on that. And we got Mad Four in the house, bro. What's good, man? Mad Four Songs 1. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. One of my favorite legs in the house, man. Yeah, I see you Airborne. Make sure you go to Airborne School, goddammit, so I can talk to you in person. I don't talk to legs, just so y'all know up front. And Sister Ross is in the house. She says, this is an interesting barbershop talk. I'm learning quite a bit. Still feel most RP has become about the money. And I would agree with her. It is. And at the end of the day, the majority of these people are just trying to get bread. Now, is that a bad thing? Brother Trues, you think that's a bad thing?
I hate to give the typical lawyer answer, but it depends. So as you guys know, I think I've been at this for what, maybe a month now. You can consider that. And so I've learned quite a bit. My thing is this, right? I'm still, as you know, I'm still coming into this new. And the way I came into the space was, I thought maybe this was just the digital version of like a barbershop talk. And then after being, learning a lot and being humbled a lot, then I thought maybe, okay, this was a space where this is just the digital version of us guys standing around with the hood popped open of the car or whatever shit box, or standing around the barbecue grill or watching the game and stuff like that. And then that the red pill was just a subgroup of the manosphere space. But what, in my opinion, it seems like it sucks because, or it's becoming toxic because more and more of the manosphere space seems to be becoming red pill content. And everything seems to just be, hey, I'm going to teach you how to get laid. Yeah. And I thought maybe it was just going to be more of us bros. First off, like we always talking shit about, the army or football and stuff like that. And obviously have deeper conversations. I just didn't realize how much, man, the interaction between man and woman was like so hard. Because again, I'm married and I've been married 15 years now. I know I got married at a very young age, but it's just so crazy how many young men are just really struggling. And so it's like, it's one and the same. And so that's why I would agree with you, DL said, this DL, because it does seem like it's starting to become a swamp and it needs to be cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to get cleaned up. Like Brother Life of Cash, and this is at Sister Roslyn, there's a lot of money to be made, and that's the big thing. Like when money gets involved, there's always going to be some, you know what I mean, some fuckery, right? And that's what's going on. But to your point, Brother Tarus, and Myron was talking about this last night on a Fresh and Fit podcast, the game has changed so much, especially in the last 5 years, bro. It's unrecognizable. It was tough for guys to get on back in the day. Y'all know I'm the old one on the group. I think I'm older than Brother JT. It's like I think I'm the old one here. But you know what I mean? Oh, my bad. Brother Hayoka's the old one. Okay, well, let me sit my young ass down. But here's the thing. The game has changed so much when technology got into play. Right? When everything became global. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you're at the bottom of the bottom 80, it is probably next to impossible to get you some Foxy Brown. You're going to have to pay for it, bro. But you're never going to be able to get to the point where you have like a meaningful relationship with the woman if you don't do something about it. And I think that's what Brother Life of Cash is talking about. It's money to be made. If you're at the bottom of the bottom 80, you're going to have to pay somebody one way or the other. You're going to have to pay a woman for Foxy Brown, or you're going to have to pay someone in this space that can help coach you up and possibly help you to become the best version of yourself and work your way into the top 20%. So what do y'all think about that? We'll start with Brother JT, then we'll go to Brother Hayoka.
Well, you have to understand also, man, that before they had this whole red pill and manosphere and all of that, you had guys that was already on these platforms that was talking about this thing called game, spitting game. You had cats that was reformed pimps that was, talking about how you spit game to a woman. But I think it just was at a point where it wasn't palatable for the average man to actually be able to absorb it, because very few men were considered a quote unquote player or a pimp or somebody that just had a whole lot of game. So you didn't have a whole bunch of men speaking on it. They were just listening to it. But once you start having this red pill where they start breaking it down and telling you exactly how to get to the point where you can get these women to actually find you attractive. And normally it's attractiveness from a financial standpoint. I mean, when you put it all down, when you had the players and the pimps talking about it, they didn't really tell you that. They didn't really lay that type of game down. So now you got guys that saying, no, this is the first thing that you do. You got to make yourself, approachable when it comes down to being attractive to women. And this is how you do it. They got the 1, 2, 3. They got courses now. They got all these different things that they have now. Back then they didn't. It was just like, there's winners, there's losers.
Right, and this is the book he's talking about. This is where it all started right here. The Mystery Method, How to Get Beautiful Women into Bed by Mystery. This is the book that Brother JT was talking about that started it all. And these dudes, these basement dwellers, the bottom 80 dudes, they came onto that like crazy. So I was like, I think I got the book up here, and I did. It was buried under some other stuff. So, but continue, my bad. I just wanted to throw that in there.
No. I was finished, bro. I was finished.
Okay. And Brother Hayoka, what's your take on it?
I agree with Brother JT with one caveat, that even though a lot of it was spitting game and things like that, a lot of men, as soon as they got the woman that they wanted, reverted back to blue pill. In which case, what happens is they would, because that was the default setting. Now the dynamic is a little bit changed, and I agree with you in the sense of saying that a man should have game and things like that. What's going on now, though, is true. The things with the Mystery Method, the game, Ross Jeffries and all the others, back in the day, they're still there, but it's not a stable target to me, the manosphere. And because we've never had this type of connectivity before. If you think about it, cell phones are recent development relatively in the years, and especially being able to talk and chat and compare notes across the board with all of us. So JT, you grew up like I grew up, like DL, all of us, in the sense that you had tried and true methods that you knew for yourself personally that would work in relationship to women. And now what happens is that the information's out there. I don't think that you're going to get a lot of only but so much traction because it's still a gynocentric order. Men still don't buy as much as women. Women controls what 70 to 80% of the household expenditures.
Yep.
So so if I was an advertiser, I wouldn't target the men. I would target the women. So and whatever would stroke their egos in order to make them do what you wanted them to do, that's what you're going to see happening. And the same thing with in the manosphere, when you talk about the 80-20 rule with 80% of the men, you're going to see that a lot of people are going to be targeting that 80%, saying because if you're 5 foot, I was looking at Roller the other day, and he was on a podcast, and he was saying that if you're below 5'11", your chances of getting a relationship drop precipitously. Now, if you're in the bottom 80% and you're 5 foot tall or 4 foot tall or something like that, you might need to go where there's short people because it's not going to work otherwise. Women don't feel safe with a short man. And even if he has money, what happens is he might stand a lot taller on top of his cash, but she's still not going to feel that he can protect her. And that's going to make an issue with that. So we have a biological issue too going on with men in the sense of that the average height 5'9" or so of the average man, and women want 5'8". If you're looking at 5'8" and you're below that, your chances regardless of your game might be you might have to, as deal say, pay, because that might be your only option. Other than that, what do? You gotta make the best with what you have. Accentuate the positive, as women say. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but speaking to your point, when it comes down to, it's definitely going to be women that is going to be way more involved with a lot of these platforms, because a lot of these women starting to see that they're getting older and they're not married. See, with men, we're not really actually trying to get married. We're just trying to, I'm saying at the younger age, we're just trying to get women to be attracted to us. With women, they already have the attractiveness to themselves, but they're not attractive enough to get married. So, this is why you would have women like Pearly Things, and you would have Melanie King, and it's only going to be a few of those women that's going to actually be successful at it, because they're actually doing the work to get women to be more attractive to men for marriage at a younger age now. The other women, they're talking about just getting married. They're not talking about being attractive so that you would be a woman that's a candidate for marriage. So I definitely agree with what you're saying when it comes down to that. I don't think that it's going to be so much of a cash cow when it comes down to women trying to get other women on their platform so they can actually talk to them like men talk to other men. Because a lot of these women, and DL, I think you said this earlier in your show, that a lot of women don't think that they're actually they need improvement.
Right. Why should they?
Until they get old.
Till they get old. I mean, you look at someone like Lizzo, not to beat up on Lizzo, but you look at someone like Lizzo, I'm like, baby, you're obese. Like, you're clinically obese, but she's out here like, I'm perfect as I am. No, you're not. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, a lot of women, and this is shout out to Rollo Tomasi, most modern women in first world developed nations have made themselves into the men that they want. So what do they mean by that? They're making 6 figures or more, right? They've got the education that they need. They can provide their own security. They have their own home, right? They have the protection, because protection comes from the state, from the government. So they can call 911. A big man with a gun is going to come and help them out. So why do they need a man? That's what you hear. I'm independent. I don't need no man. Again, Rollo Tomasi says this. You're independent. Independent of what? You're independent of men. And now you put yourself in.
Here's the problem, DL. I hear that and I go, oh my God, that means it would have been easier for me to find women than it was when I was single.
It depends on how much money you make and or what other qualities you bring that she wants. That's the key. Like I said, it's never been easier to get sex. Women control who gets sex. Men control who get relationships. Men control who gets relationships. I mean, here's the thing: a guy with money doesn't care how much is it. A woman with money doesn't make her more attractive to a man, any man. It's not a thing. Whereas, like Brother Hayoka said, you could be a short dude, but if you're worth like, you know, right? If you're worth Jeff Bezos is a short little bitty nerdy dude, but boy, he's tall when he's standing on top of all them billions. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, bro. Women don't understand that and Myron talks about this all the time. What makes a man attractive to a woman does not make that woman attractive to a man. Like a dude doesn't care about your career. He doesn't care about your money. And that's where we at. And there, go ahead.
In relationship to what Brother Taru said earlier, what he fails to realize is that because of being married, he's already pre-qualified. It makes a difference. Women, you're already pre-qualified.
And just to be clear, Hayoka, before we're in the multiverse. I don't want to get in trouble with them. You know what I mean? We're in the multiverse, right?
Right. Okay. And we get that. But
yeah.
But we're saying, and before we go on, real quick, I gotta stop. We got a real OG in the house. Sister Candace is in the house. What's good? What's good? You want to talk about? You know what I mean? That's my people right there. Had to show her some love. Thanks for coming through, love. And let me catch up with the chats real quick. Sister Rosin, and this was for Brother Life of Cash. She's answering his last chat. Perhaps, but at what cost? All the vitriol against women and bad advice just hurts everyone at the end. She has a good point there. Again, this is what feminism has done, right? Feminism, and then you compound that with technology, it has changed the game. So, like you were saying, Brother Tarus, that today if you would happen to be single in the multiverse, you'll be cleaning up right now. The question is, would you? Like, you would be having mad sex. You would be having mad sex, but would you want a relationship with some of these women who have these alpha traits? Or are you going to be cool with a woman who outmans you? And a lot of these women, they just, right?
That's the problem. The things that you guys consider masculine or gender, I don't. Because my wife in Germany, you guys got to remember, like, moving my wife to Germany, y'all know that is a downgrade, right? Coming from Germany to the United States. And when I met my wife and we got married, she made more than me. But I never gave a fuck about just me individually. That whole finance, whoever makes the most bread, that's never mattered to me. So that's nothing I go into with a preconceived notion, right? When I was 18 years old, oh my God, bro, my wife gonna kill me. Well, I'm talking about 18, so we didn't meet each other. When I was 18 years old, man, and I was at University of Toledo as a freshman, I had this senior who was 22. I had no driver's license. I was broke as fuck, no job. I was whipping her car and everything like that. Like, she had money. She had a job. She had her own crib. Like, and it just, none of that shit, none of the materialism things gets in my way.
Can I ask a question? How tall are you?
5'10".
5'10". Okay.
5'11" on a good day.
5'11". Okay. The reason why I ask is because what happens is you're above the mark of 5'8". And really what happens is that you talk about your wife making more than you, but she saw the potential that you could make more than her. You were already busy when you got with her, but she saw the potential in you. The reason why I said to you earlier that you were pre-qualified is because women will take and go after a man that they already know other women have already wanted, or already, he's already in a relationship. Okay. So he has the qualities necessary for that. You being single, you probably wouldn't have ran into the same thing. Having a wedding ring on your finger makes it much more easier for women to go after you, because they know one thing: you don't have to spend you can't spend a whole lot of time with them. Okay, they can get you whenever they want to or not. Okay, it's really at their convenience to some degree. So
Hayoka, what would you then say to the guys who are in the 18-21 demographic about, when you're starting off? Because I get what you mean as far as pre-qualified, but you guys also, but Hayoka, as you know, we're all above the age group where we already have that experience and stuff like that. What about them young cats who are just starting out?
Muscles. Okay, get your yoke on. Okay, you got to get your money on. Okay, you got to get your social intelligence on. In other words, what DLU always refers to as don't be creepy.
All right. Right deal.
Because if you're creepy, if you look in the art of seduction, there is the anti-seducer character, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
So you want all the the comedian said like this. He said, male peacocks have color, female peacocks are drab. Male lions have a mane, female lions don't have a mane. He said this is why pimps have always outdressed hoes. The rationale being is that you have to look the part. You have to be through and through. You want your car. You don't want to be driving around in a bucket like Dale said earlier, and say, "Well, listen, you need to get in the back of my hatchback." That's not going to work. So if
I
you
don't know,
target,
man. Ioka, there's a lot of dudes, right? Don't even got wheels anymore. Hell, the women accept the hatchback.
Well, let me jump in there real quick. And Brother Charus, that is what we find on YouTube all the time. People that will latch on to the exception and just disregard the rule. Right? Yeah, I know. When I was at my peak womenizing, right, I was broke. I talked about this on Suzette's speech platform. I was broke. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I didn't buy drinks for women, this, that, and the third. The way I move was the way I move. And it was like, I didn't buy drinks for women because I didn't want to buy them. I would have. I was broke. I couldn't buy them. You feel me? And at the end of the day, even with all this red pills talk and this Mansfield stuff and all the science and everything else, at the end of the day, women control who gets sex. Women want what they want. If they want you, it doesn't matter about all the rest of the shit. If they want, you know what I mean? If they want you, but that's when we start getting into these exceptions. You know what I mean? It's rare that you're going to find a beautiful woman who's going to want an obese man who lives in his mom's basement. That's rare.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, but that's where we are right now. Like, people want to argue these exceptions. You know what I mean? And like, again, feminism has wrecked women. They just don't. It takes time for it to play out. But like you said, by 2030, 45% of women are going to realize they got wrecked. Then what? What are they going to do? They're past the wall. They can't even compete with their younger selves. What are they going to do? They're going to sit there and they're going to be hurt. And it's like, well, you can still settle with one of these bottom 80 guys. They won't do it. They'll go buy a pet. They'll buy a cat or a dog. You know what I mean? You see how crazy that is. So, and yeah, there's a lot of, like what Sister Rollins was saying, you do hear a lot of you hear a lot of the anger and all that from a lot of these dudes, but notice that's coming from the bottom 80. The top 20 guys ain't complaining about shit, are they? Because they're smashing who they want to smash and they can get with whoever they want to get with. So, and then it back to this knowing how to maneuver the Mano Swamp. People, there's going to be a lot of folks out there. Like, if you are looking for help, be careful who you get that help from. Be careful who you get his money to, because there's people out there trying to give you exactly what you want, and they're gonna give you some bullshit. Like that guy, like Rich Cooper was talking about, the guy who was hiring prostitutes and placing them in a place to where the guy thinks, oh, I used this line from the Mystery Method and it worked, and I got to take this girl home. But nah, it's a setup. You done paid this dude X amount of dollars. He just set you up, took some of that money and bought a prostitute.
Hey, what Lil Wayne said, she a good actress and you a dead actor.
Hey, you know what I mean? And brother Dino Dinosaur was like, you have a pimp in LA who blew up on the podcast, who was getting pushed into Hollywood productions. It's crazy. Yeah, and I think you're talking about Sharp. You know what I mean? I think, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sharp's gonna make it too, bro. Like, he's gonna get some bread. That's how Hollywood is. They, Hollywood latches on to whatever trend is out there. If they can make some money off of the fast buck, they will. And that's where, I wanted to do a short. I was gonna do a documentary film about the Manosphere and RP, and I wanted to use Fresh and Fit as my focal point. And they're so busy, they're like, we just don't have time they really didn't have time to do it. And I kind of let the project go. I didn't want to, in Hollywood, you never want to force a subject to be a part of a project, because it's not gonna, it shows. And so I just left it alone. But I think that the RP space, the Manosphere, is getting closer and closer to mainstream. This is where all the money is. This is where the eyes are. You got more and more people talking about it, especially after that whole Jada thing. Look at Will Smith. You know what I mean? Look at Tom Brady. This is all the stuff that the Manosphere, they tell you, like, look, bro, this is what could happen to you. How is it that Tom Brady could lose his wife because he's the best football player to ever do it, best quarterback? How is it that she's just going to walk away trying to control this guy? This is probably, like the RP stuff.
Probably because he told he was going to get divorced, and come to find out, he never intended on getting. He planned on retiring. Told her he was going to retire. Never planned on actually retiring. Was only trying to leverage this bullshit to get to Miami. That's a big, like, I could see why Giselle was like, nah, this is it.
Okay, so what's she gonna do now? Is she gonna get another Tom Brady? Hell no.
Hell no.
I mean,
like, is she gonna get another Tom Brady?
But this is what I learned.
Go ahead.
Being young, this is what I learned. The majority of women that you come in contact with are going to be a liability to you. Very few of them are going to be assets. That's why we have to vet. And the first person you vet is yourself. Am I picking right? You know, am I building myself for the type of woman that I ultimately want to marry? If that's what you want to do. But a lot of these dudes don't understand how much of a risk it is to be out here dating. It's a huge risk now, because it goes to that point where you done got this woman, she done got you guys done got used to being around each other, and at some point, no matter what it is, she can just decide to say, I want out. I don't want to be with you no more. It's a liability. Yeah. It's a big time liability.
And a lot of times she can get paid for the process. Like, you can get married, and then, you know, it's like in the West, women are incentivized to break the contract. You know what I mean? Which it should be hard. That's another topic. I don't want to get into that now, but that's just how the world is right now, man. It's crazy as hell. Brother Life of Cash had a good comment here, and this was at Sister Rosalind. At the extremes, there are harmful messages in the media and social media aimed at men and women. It is more socially acceptable to be critical of men, e.g., too short, too broke, too fat, etc. I added the too fat part, bro. You know what I mean?
That's always been true, though, right? We've always been more harsh on each other as men. We're straightforward with the critique.
Can we say plus size?
I say fat. You can say whatever you want to say, bro.
No. I'm just being facetious in the sense of saying that.
Oh, okay.
I say fat, bro. It is what it is. And like Sister Candace, like, she wanted time to be home so she could focus on her career, and I believe there's something to do with that. We got Sister Demac 23 in the house. No, she tried to give an ultimatum, and this is something that I say on this platform all the time. When you're talking about people, you know what I mean, you got folks, you know what I mean, in a relationship. I always say the person with the leverage is the person who's willing to walk away. You know, because people are like, no, it's 50-50. It's rarely 50-50. There's someone in a relationship that's willing to walk. In this relationship, she was the one willing to walk away. It's not about the money, because she's papered up too. He's papered up, whatever. They're both beautiful people. It is what it is. Right. So in that relationship, she was willing to walk away. So she had the leverage. You know what I mean? And she'll be fine. But I mean, who's she dating now? She's dating some judo instructor or whatever she was doing. Like, it is what it is. Women always have, it seems that most women, a lot of women will have a backup in place. But if a woman is really happy and that's the man she wants to be with, there's no backup. That's the dude. You're going to work it out. He can't play in the NFL forever. You know what I mean? Like, he's getting his ass whooped right now. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to go another year. But that's another conversation. But, you know, it is what it is. Women want what they want. If you happen to be what they want, you're good. That's going to get you in. They control sex. You might get the Foxy Brown. But men control relationships. And women want relationships with the best men. And that's what it boils down to. There are only so many of them. So, I mean, go ahead.
I'm sorry. In relationship to what you were saying, though, the oldest NFL football player was 48 years old. There's two things that I dislike about this situation with Tom Brady in this sense, that he's not too far from where he can't play anyway. She knows this. Okay. So to me, it came down to, yeah, he may have told her that, but figure like this, he's only got so many hits left in him. Right. And she didn't want, but the caveat is she might not have wanted him to be broken up, but I don't think the jiu-jitsu instructor wasn't on the sidelines to begin with. I think he was always there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and see, here's the thing, Heyoka. When we're talking about the relationship, I think we would both agree that as far as the long-term marriage, that was pretty successful, you know, as far as that. But we also have to remember that Tom Brady got with Giselle while he was already married to another woman and had a kid. So in a sense, this could be karma, right? And on top of that, Hayoka, we got to remember that he already won the Super Bowl, the 7th ring. And then he came back for the following year. And that's the thing, bro. Like, just as a married man, if I tell my wife, hey, look, babe, after the season, this is it. At some point, my word as a man, as a husband, has to come into account. Because, Hayoka, if I intentionally tell that woman that, yeah, this is going to be my final season, knowing that it's not, and I'm only doing this because I'm trying to leverage myself to San Fran or Miami, she's got all the reason, because at the end of the day, he became disloyal. He's the one who lied, and that's a big thing.
Keep his word.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing: is we don't know what happened, what was discussed. But there was some talk in media when this all popped off that he was apparently the two of them were talking, and he was on one of those, I think this is going to be the last year, one of those kind of things. But you know how it is when you talk to another person, they're going to force you into saying yes or no, and it sounds like he said, okay, it's going to be the last year. That's between them, right? This was after the season, and then she leaked it allegedly to the media, and the media was like, all right, he's done. So it was like she forced him, right? And then it could be a thing like, nah. We were talking, you forced me. I'm the man. I'm gonna do another season, and then it played out the way it played out. Maybe it went down that way. I don't know. We're not in these people's homes.
The reason it went down that way is because, remember, Dio, the Miami Dolphins got fined for that. Remember all that bullshit? They got fined for tampering. So that's exactly how it went down.
But that still goes to the point. That still goes to the point that she's a liability. Regardless, we got married. They also took vows, for better or worse, rich or poor, all these different things. So at the end of the day, she using this whole divorce thing, that's crazy as hell. Because don't they got kids together? Haven't they built something together? I mean, just because I still
point, JT, isn't that the point? Like, she wants this man not broken because she sees the hits he's getting, the concussions and all that. He's already established as the GOAT. She probably wants to actually spend time with her man and her family.
You got to work it out. You got to work it out. See, that's what I'm saying. You got to work it out. I don't care what anybody say. If we're sitting back and we're talking about marriage, we're talking about people. That's a very serious thing that you do. You're merging with another person. You're intertwined with another person, and for some odd reason, you should be trying to build a family. Divorce should not be on the table. It just shouldn't. Now, if the man was being truly toxic, whooping on her, he was, beating her, doing something that was toxic, now I can understand. But because he's doing what he's doing, it's a part of life. It is what it is.
But the problem with what you're saying, JT, is simply this: that prior to the pill, men and women were forced to be together if they had children. This is why when you see after you get contraception, you see the divorce rate go up. Prior to that time, a woman depended upon a man, and you couldn't just have sex, because if there was a mistake, you had to be ready, you had to be prepared for it. Nowadays, what happens is that because women have their own and things like that, you can't, even though you as a man have to keep your word, you might be the best man on the planet. That doesn't mean that she won't find somebody that she thinks is better. In which case,
I agree, but it still goes to the point where when we talk about marriage, this is why a lot of men are not trying to marry women. This is the reason why, because it's a liability. We can just be together then.
Well,
some of them want to hold on to that single life too, though.
Here's the thing. We're definitely off topic, off mission. This could be a good show, but I mean, we're definitely off topic. The point is this, in my opinion, is people are getting married. It's either too easy to get married or too easy to get divorced. It's one or the other. You know what I mean? And that's going to be like a topic for another day. Let's go to final thoughts here, and we'll start with Brother Hayoka. Give me a second to set everything up. We'll go with Brother Hayoka on final thoughts. And remember, I want your final thoughts on the state of the manosphere as it is today. Good, bad, the money, how the money is affecting it, and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just end with that because we're already, you know, I hate going over 2 hours. We're already over 2 hours. Great show, by the way, guys. I'm glad y'all came up. I'm glad y'all came up. You know what I mean? So go ahead, brother Hayok. What's your final thoughts?
I think you're going to see a lot of monetization of Red Pill at some point. When the attempt to there's going to be an attempt to make it mainstream, but I think it's probably going to be co-opted at some point. And so what happens is, it's kind of like I was looking at a situation where the guy said, "Well, if he cheated, what would be on?" And the woman said, "I cheated because of what you did. You made me cheat. He didn't cheat first, she did, but she blamed it on him." That's going to be wiped out. You're going to see a prepackaged manosphere coming down the pike with a lot of grift because there's a lot of money to be made in that 80% of men. Now there's only so much, but I would imagine that you're going to see people saying, "Well, listen, you need to understand how he thinks, and this is going to be directed towards women." So I see a lot of changes coming. It's going to be an evolving situation. So I look forward to seeing it. I guess that's my thought. Thank you.
I appreciate that, bro. And thanks for coming through. Just so y'all know, brother Hayok and I are working on the show, man. We're going to be talking about deep fake. You know, we love talking about the AI stuff. Hopefully we get it up and running by midweek next. I guess we're going to have to wait till after Christmas, bro. We'll talk about it. I'll hit you up. But we're working on this show. Brother Hayok gave this idea for this show, and it's fire. I love the idea. The articles you've already sent me. Y'all be on the lookout for this show. We're going to be talking about deep fake. Be looking for the thumbnail. Brother Hayok, thank you very much, bro, for always being there, supporting. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, bro.
Not a problem. Brother Taru, I sent you on your IG, check it. My number. Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Cool. So we'll holler at you later, bro. Thank you, man. Peace. Brother JT, what are your final thoughts on the manosphere, the Mano Swamp?
The Mano Swamp. Yeah, there's gonna be a whole bunch of this going on. It's gonna evolve before it implodes. Like I said earlier, I really don't have a problem with it because it brings on more content for us that look at both sides. You're gonna have a lot more women, and like you see right now, that's actually trying to subscribe to this whole concept. I don't know what they're going to be calling it because it's going to be something else that is going to definitely be called. When it comes down to like just pearly things and what's the other lady name?
You got Melanie King, and you got Courtney Ryan. Just
Courtney
just
Ryan, yeah, just to name a few of them. It's not going to be a whole lot of them. It's not. It's going to be a few of those. They're going to make a lot of money off of it, like they're doing right now. And then on that side, it's just going to implode. I don't know when, but it's not going to last as long as, you know, Red Pill or Manosphere or any of that, because you just have women that pretty much are what I would call hard-headed until they get old. So that's my final thought on that.
I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. You know, you can tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at What We Know Podcast with me and my homeboy Robert. I was thinking about doing the show tonight. Not sure. I'm out here trying to get ready for this damn Christmas stuff that my girl got me doing. If it was just me, I wouldn't be doing none of this shit. Wouldn't be doing none of this bullshit.
Sound like an old black Grinch. Humbug. Fuck all this bullshit.
Humbug for real. I am. I'm a mean one. But you know, I'm trying to keep my woman. Fuck it. I'll do
That's
it.
What's up. Yo, if you do decide, hey, if you do decide to go on, man, hit me up. Let me know what it is, man. Thanks for coming through. Always a pleasure, man. Always an honor to have you on the platform, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Brother JT, What We Know Podcast, man. I'll hit you up later.
All right, Karu, man. I'll holler back at you, brother.
Peace, bro.
All right,
peace. Brother Tyrus, what are your final thoughts, man?
Whew, man,
even though you don't know anything about it, but what are your final thoughts?
Well, I learned a lot now thanks to you, man. That's why I'm so glad that I got lucky enough that when I entered this space, you were one of the first guys I found. You Black Man Unfiltered, JT, 5100. There's so many other people that I'm thankful that I ran into, because man, I could have went a whole different direction if I ran into somebody else. You know what I mean? But I guess that's the biggest thing with the manosphere is I was looking for more like a digital community of bros, and I actually found it. There's a lot of guys who, unfortunately, when they go and search for a community, they run into these grifters. And so we got to remember, man, like you guys have constantly said, this manosphere is new. It's still technically new. It's growing. It's the Wild West right now, if you will. But overall, as long as there's enough guys, in this space trying to have level-headed points, I think everything will be okay. That's
what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So shout out to you, bro. Thanks for coming through. Always quick to jump on. You know what I mean? And be on the lookout, y'all. We got another show coming up. We're gonna do a follow-up show to that Master P thing. We're gonna have to figure that out. I forgot about Christmas and everything, but we're gonna have to figure out the follow-up to Master P. And Brother Truce also sent me an idea for a show we're gonna do on this topic about modern women today and how they date and how they move. So be looking for that. Can they? And where else can people find you, bro?
Well, guess what? You can find me on a lot of other Black men's podcasts. I support Black businesses. I support my fellow men. DL, JT, 5100, Black Men Unfiltered. There's already a platform. So I'm just going to be a panelist, and you can find me when you watch them. That's
what's up, man. So I appreciate it, bro. One more time for Brother Taroos, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Browns, man. Peace. And man, I mean, there you have it. You know what I mean? The Mano Swamp is definitely changing. There's money involved. There's big money involved, y'all. So things are going to continue to change for the better and for the worse. But we're going to keep our head down, and we're going to keep pushing forward. Just want to catch up with the chat, and then we'll end the show. My brother Jay Swans is in the house, man. I see you, fam. What's good? You know what I mean? And we're just catching up with the chat. Like maybe she just got bored with him. And I was talking about Giselle and Brady. Maybe Dimac 23. Brady did not lie. She forced his hands, and that was pretty much the point I was making. And it went the way it went. You know what I mean? Jay Swans, brothers, y'all trying way too hard to figure out why another man's relationship failed. That's how the space works, bro. You know what I mean? People love the drama. That's why the Master P, the show we did on Master P and his son Romeo. People love that show. That show was we're getting a lot of views on that, and people just, people like to see the drama, man. They like to hear us talk about it. It is what it is. Jay Swans, why don't we focus on relationships that appear to work and figure those out? That's a good point, man. That's definitely something we need to be doing moving forward. Brother Dino punched the like. Appreciate that, Sister Candace. Too easy to divorce. I do believe that wholeheartedly. Nightish, it's a wobbler. A watered down pill. Yeah, the red pill's definitely, it's kind of watered down, and it's getting worse, man. The whole manosphere space, the Mano Swamp is really a thing, y'all. Shout out to Rich Cooper. Sister Candace, women don't need to be regurgitating men's talking points. I think we should be listening, observing, and implementing the wants, needs, and desires of men. Outstanding point. I appreciate that. Says men that we are seeking. Absolutely. That's just to clarify that up. Brother Hayoka, you're referring to the dualistic nature of hypergamy, the provisioning for long-term relationships. Brother Hayoka, thank you, DL and brothers in the chat. Yes, and thank you too, brother, for always being there. Brother Hayoka is saying thanks to Sister Candace as well. Sister Rosalind at Sister Candace. Listening is the key. The $64,000 question is who to listen to. Good point. You know what I mean? You got to figure that out on your own, I'm afraid, but that's a really good point. Nightish, thank you, Brother Hayoka. Sister Candace, how close are you to monetization, Brother DL? We're less than 300 view hours. We're getting there. That Master P episode really helped a lot. I don't think I'll hit it by the end of the year, but it will definitely be within the first 2 months, first 2 weeks of next year at this point. I'm going to keep putting out videos, and I'm going to start doing some shorts. I think that's going to help over the holiday break. I'm going to chop up some shorts. So I'm hoping to get there first part of next year will be monetized. We're getting real close, sis. Real close. And Brother Hayaka, good afternoon, sir. Sister Candace has just responded to everyone in the chat. And Brother Hurk saying hi to Brother Jay Swans. That's it. We're finished, man. Like, so what are my final thoughts on all this, right? Yes, people, and I'm talking to the guys right now. If you're in the manosphere, if you've taken the red pill, if you're in, you know what I mean, you're in these trenches, you're in this Mano swamp, be careful. Be careful. You are the target. People are gunning for you on all flanks, right? Check your front, check your rear, check six. People are gunning for you. Be careful who you deal with. Be careful who you deal with. I know for a fact that these big YouTubers come in there like they're really good people, but they're dealing with some real shiesty folks. And I'm telling you, people are coming and they're basically trying to rob you. They're trying to do whatever they can do. They're trying to get your money. Just be careful who you deal with. I don't have a problem with people paying, to solve issues, to solve problems. I understand that. But be careful who you paying. Be careful who you deal with, y'all. Just be careful. And for those content creators like myself, if you out there and you want to collab and do business with other people, be careful who you're doing business with. They'll throw you under the bus quick. Rich Cooper said this as well, and this is an old saying. I'm sure y'all have heard it before. You lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. It is what it is. Be careful who you laying down with. Be careful who you going into business with, right? And I have to say that to myself when I look into a mirror every day. Be careful who you dealing with, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen streets this treacherous since back in the day when I was in the real streets doing them kind of things. It's almost on that level, y'all. So just be careful. There's a lot of money involved and people are greedy and they will do anything to get it. So I think that there's a future for the manosphere in RP, but I think there's going to be more charlatans. I think there's going to be more, snake oil salesmen. I think there's going to be more of that moving forward. Just be careful, y'all. Find the good people. Get the information you need. Here's the thing. If you're in the bottom 8 and you're having trouble, there's plenty of free information out there for you to better yourself. There are plenty of books for you to read. Here's one right here. This book right here, if you're looking for help, this is Rich Cooper's The Unplugged Alpha. He's not paying me to show you this. I'm not a paid sponsor. I read the book. It's a damn good book. This is a really good start. You can do that. If you want to spend some money, buy this book. Start here. You don't need the mystery method. You don't need some of these other books. Start here with Unplugged Alpha, right? Then go get Aaron Clary's Bachelor Pad Economics, right? And some of his other books. I think Brother Hayoka's put it in there. It was, the Book of Numbers. I got that as well. Get the Book of Numbers. Those are 2 good books. Get the Rational Mail, right? So treat yourself to 4 Christmas gifts. Buy yourself those books. You can get them all on Amazon. Buy those 4 books. And read those 4 books. If you're in the bottom 80 and you're really trying to figure it out, start there. Watch Fresh and Fit daytime shows. Watch Fresh and Fit daytime shows. When they talk about money, they talk about fitness, they talk about business. Watch them shows. They talk about relationships. Don't watch the nighttime shows. I mean, I want you to support my dudes, like and subscribe and like those things, but focus on the daytime shows. Those are the shows that they love doing. Those are the shows where they're really trying to help, right? It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Likes are free. You know what I mean? And then check out whoever else you want to check out. But that's what I would suggest. Be careful who you choose. You know what I mean? There's plenty of information out there for free so you can better yourself and understand how to move in this new dating world, y'all. There's plenty of free information out there. You don't have to pay for shit. But if you do want to pay for shit, be careful who you buy from, all right? So that's that. Those are my final thoughts on that. And so that was a good show. I really enjoyed that. Thank y'all so much for being here. This was a good time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoy doing this. I have a good time. Brother Tarus, thank you for the cash out. Thanks for everyone who's contributed and donated to this platform. I really appreciate it. On the other side of the holidays, we're gonna have the new camera up and running. Thank you guys so much. I'm DL Saint. This is DL Saint. I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.